Scrooby pill bottle.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good weed container.
Yo. All right, cool. We live. People can hear us.
Yo.
Can't believe I just asked him if that was a shit
Chocolate covered like a cup of ho-hos. Oh, well, yeah. Right.
That's not a good start.
A shih tzu? Come on.
I love Shih Tzus.
It's like, no, you fucktard. It's a terrier.
Dude, I grew up with Shih Tzus.
Shih Tzu?
My aunt had a Shih Tzu. My mom had a Shih Tzu. They're awesome.
Yeah. What's that? What was that? Fucking Dumb and Dumber. Hit a bulldog and a Shih Tzu and made a bullshit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a dad joke.
It is. It's a classic. Classic on the dad jokes.
All right. All right. Well, whenever you want to hit it, Carver, you can hit it, and we'll get this show.
Let's do it, man. I don't want to keep people waiting.
Yeah.
The end of the world. Yes, it is the end of the world. And it's also the beginning of a brand new, solid Juggalo world for us all to enjoy.
Welcome. Well, it's Taekwondo. Oh, here, let me hide him. What am I doing here? What's up, everyone?
Flopping.
Welcome, everyone. Taekwondo. My name is Kyle, a.k.a. Keezy, and these are my best friends.
Yes. What's up, guys? This is this is just Chris. I'm the guy that stands behind Cyrax. And welcome to Deck One Deck. I didn't say the line.
You said
You're
Deck
dropping the
One.
ball.
You also said Deck One Deck.
Deck One Deck. Welcome to Deck One Deck. All right.
Carver Law, y'all. How y'all doing?
All right.
I was trying to switch up the intro, but I didn't think of a better intro, so I guess welcome to Deck One Deck is the new one.
Brother,
You got hit with every
sorry.
one right off the bat.
what's that?
Jesus, man. Good Lord.
What's that, brother?
I'm fucking killing it.
All right. Well, I already spoiled
Negative
it.
killing it.
I already spoiled it, so why don't we just get right to the fucking shit, all right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's bring in the fucking mob boss himself.
All right, without any further ado, are you preparing a sound bite?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Without any further ado, everyone, welcome fucking Bukshot! Let me unmute him.
What up, y'all?
Yo, what up?
What up?
What's up, Bukshot?
The Louisville Capadon.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
I think that's how you say.
I'll take that.
Yeah, the Don. We'll just say Don. Capodon. Capodon made it sound like a ballerina or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Well, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for taking time off from whatever mob bosses do on their Sunday afternoons to join us.
Listening to Underground Avengers mixes.
yes, sir.
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yeah, that is
It's
coming
done. The album's done.
Finally.
Yeah, man.
Constant work, man. You're always on the grind. You're always working, man. That's how mob bosses do.
Hell yeah.
That's it. So Underground Avengers, man, like everyone's pumped for the new album. You got
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You put the track list out the other day. I was personally shocked by how long the secret features list is on the song Scab.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I was trying to get these guys hip to showing them. I was showing them Thanos,
Yeah. No, Thanos is the shit, dude.
exit wounds and shit.
Yeah.
Like you have one of these songs at the end of each one of your Underground Avengers albums with like everybody who's anybody on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we started that trend with exit wounds, and obviously we did Thanos, and I'm not for sure if you all are aware of it. Well, I'm sure you all heard back in the when we dropped Anomaly 88, the drama about Light not allowed to be on the song.
Oh no, what happened there? I actually am not familiar.
Yeah, I do remember that. I
Yeah?
remember
Oh
that.
wow, yeah, that was a pretty big deal. Basically, we asked Light. He was a Psychopathic records artist at the time,
Yeah.
and we asked Light to be on it, and Light said he asked permission to be on the song, and he got the green light, which honestly, it shocked me. I didn't think they would let him do it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then the night he went to the studio, I was told from them that when they went into the studio to record the verse, somebody told Light, you got to go in the office and see Bill. and he went into the office, and Bill told him, "You're a psychopathic records recording artist, and you're not getting on that song."
Oh,
So, you know, he didn't get on it, which we ended up doing a remix to it later. Seven made a brand new beat to the song, and Light got on the remix. The remix is called Galactus,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
and it's actually online. You can go listen to it.
Dope. Yeah, I'll
we gotta
definitely check that
Yeah,
out.
we'll check that out today, right?
Hell yeah.
Let's do that.
Definitely. That so you finally end up getting the Light verse.
Yeah, but what was crazy, the fact that he was told he couldn't do it,
Yeah.
it actually gave the album more publicity. The fact he couldn't be on it than if he had just done it. If he had just done it, it's still it still obviously would have been a big song.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was pulled off of it, and I think what started the controversy, I want to say
I remember that too. About
we
that.
never announced it. It like on the pre-orders. If you went on the Mob Shop on the pre-orders, it showed the track listing of who all was on the song, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, like Light is on this song," because he was a Psy artist, and there was some M&E artists on the song as well.
Yeah.
And literally, I think it was the day after pre-order started that he was going to do the verse, and because he had already told me he had permission to do it, we would have never put his name listed on the pre-orders if we didn't have a green light with permission. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the very next day, we had to take his name off the website that he was going to be on the song. And I want to say it was Chuck Reeves that Chuck, like, I couldn't believe somebody spotted it that quick, but he was like, "Did anybody notice that Light's name is pulled off the song, off the website?" And I was like, "Dude, it was one day. Like, how did he notice that?" Which was crazy.
And I remember that time frame because I was watching Chuck Reeves at around that time. What year was that? Was that
2018.
Was that? Yeah, it was a while ago. I do remember those rumblings back then. It's been a while.
But for like 3 weeks, that was like the talk. It was like Light got pulled off Thanos, and like I said, I personally think the fact he got pulled off of it, it gave more promotion for the album than if they just let him do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, because I remember after that album, it kind of blew up. I remember everybody talking about it, and yeah, it was a whole big thing.
Well, I mean, I never invited Light on it for controversy reasons. Like, Light's my homie.
Of course.
Like, I've been fucking with Light for years.
Yeah, you're just trying to get music together. I mean, when you're putting music together, you don't think about that shit.
No, I mean, I've never like cared about the politics. Like, I mean, before all this happened, like, Joe and all them were my homies. I was cool with everybody. I was cool with all of them. But just like out of respect, because he is a psychopathic artist.
Sure.
And, there was M&E artists, before I just reached out to Light just out of respect, because Twisted was already on the song. I hit up George and I was like, "Hey, George, do you care if I throw Light on this song?" And George was like, "I don't care." Like, he doesn't give a shit either.
Yeah.
They don't care, man.
That's good.
But
man.
but it was more one-sided why he couldn't be on there. So it was what it was.
So
Yeah.
But that said, you marched. You were one of the artists that marched.
At the Juggalo
was.
March. Yep.
I mean,
props to that, by the way.
absolutely, man.
Props
Like,
to
Thank
that.
you.
so many people
Yes.
could have and didn't, and you were there. So that's to me, like,
Part of history.
I'll be honest, like we were all, I think, a little bit out of the Juggalo hemisphere around that time, unfortunately, and it's one of my regrets.
Biggest regrets. Yeah.
That's what when I came back is like right around the march was going on. Wow, damn, they're marching.
Yeah.
I was watching it from.
I just wasn't. It was a little too late to kind of plan and do that. But yeah, man, after that, I was like, shit, they're marching on Washington. I gotta see what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I love Juggalos, man. I had a great time. I had a great time out there with everybody. It was the march was cool.
Yeah, yeah,
man.
absolutely.
I mean, and so you were playing gatherings around that time too, right?
I played 7 gatherings in a row until that year, till after the March. Well, it was when they told me I wasn't welcome to play gatherings anymore, was after the announcement for the Underground Avengers album, Anomaly 88.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Rob, Jump Steady, Rob actually texted me. This is already after the announcement. And, one thing that's always been misconstrued, UGA was never signed to Magic Ninja. They distributed the album.
Yeah. There's just a
And
distributor.
and M&E, they're all my homies. I mean, I was homies with everybody. I don't like have politics or rat beef with any of the people in our world at
Yeah.
all. I've been cool with everybody. And Rob texted me and he said, "Hey Buck, give me a call at your convenience." And in my head, I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, he's calling me to tell me what night I'm playing the gathering." It was just normal.
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting on the call because I've done it 7 years in a row, and so I called him probably within 5 minutes of the text, and he said, "Hey man," he said, "I just want to let you know that, you know, everything that went down at the Juggalo March, it was just such a positive thing." And he said, "But I just want to tell you, personally that we were going to book you for the march. Or, I'm sorry, we're going to book you for the gathering, but because that announcement, we can't book you this year." And I was honestly confused because I literally did not think the UGA thing coming out with the M&E logo on it. I did not think it would affect anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, announcement. Like in my head, I'm thinking, did I like say something that people were like misconstruing as like a shot at somebody, or and I was like,
Yeah, thinking back
announcement,
to lyrics and stuff like that.
yeah, or whatever. I'm like, what announcement? I was literally confused. And he was like, you're signed to M&E. And I said, dude, I'm not signed to M&E. I said, you know, Underground Avengers, they're just distributing the album.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, same thing. He was like, we don't work with anybody who does work with M&E.
Yeah.
And
The pettiness.
I was like, your event, your festival,
Yeah.
if you don't want to book me, it's, it is what it is.
Now,
Yeah.
that's been a while, right? That's been like 5-6 years.
But
6 years.
But you see how symbols really kind of rule everything? Like it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. Symbols rule the world. In the end, you got that MNE logo, that psychopathic logo, you know what I mean? That's really what kind of, rouse up people at the end of the day.
No, I agree. There's a lot of power behind symbols. I mean, look at a Nike symbol.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Look at a Jordan symbol. I mean, it doesn't even have to say the name on it. When people see a Nike swoosh, like it's symbol, that's something I've learned long ago is symbols have a lot of power behind them.
Yeah. You can take 1,000 people from across the world and show them a picture of the president, and then show them a Nike symbol, and a lot more are going to know what the Nike
Yeah.
symbol represents than who
So-
the guy is.
1,000%.
Yeah.
So you being someone trying to get some put some music together, you get a symbol on your album. Does that go through your head like, man, I'm doing something here? This symbol's on this album. Like, what are people going to think about this, man?
Yeah,
This
were you ever hesitant to work with M&E around that area or that period of time?
Not at all, because like I said, in my head, I mean, I'm a grown up. I'm thinking,
right.
I'm thinking like, ultimately nobody's stupid. I mean, it's all between Joe and Paul and Jamie. So like, they have disagreements, and I understand why the disagreements are there, but like that sucks. But like, I get it. I'm not saying you're right or you're right. Like, I understand you all have a disagreement for whatever reason, but that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the problems between two grown men. I think it's silly when they when some of those grown men will not point any fingers at Jay or at anyone, but when some of those grown men will blacklist anyone who even has contact with
That's what I was gonna say.
Twisted. You know what I mean?
It's been like 6 years. Like, I mean, has there been any attempt whatsoever for them to be like, all right, man, you can come back? You know, there's
yeah, to
nothing
get
like
you back
that.
at the gathering or anything.
I've never heard from them like one time ever since.
Man, that's a
geez.
shame.
I
man.
mean, like, you know, look at like let's say Boondocks in class. We're part of Underground Avengers.
Yeah.
If they got into a fight or a beef with each other for whatever reason, I could never even see that happen.
Yeah,
But let's
yeah.
just say if there was a beef between them, like that would suck, but that's between them.
Exactly.
It wouldn't make me feel any different about Dirty as it would Class. Like
Yeah.
that sucks. I would obviously try to de-escalate and try to work it out to, you know, any one of my two friends, if you know, because Joe was always my homie,
Yeah.
and you know, same with Paul and Jamie. I mean, I've been friends with all of them, and you know,
Yeah.
they just basically were just, they didn't say pick, they were just like, hey, you work with them, so we're not working with you, and
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
That's a shame.
You know,
man.
I mean,
It's cutting off, you know. You get that, you get that pettiness and stuff. And when people are creating a battlefield and you're kind of in the middle, man, you know you got to pick a side, and that's what sucks. People expect you to do that.
I don't think you have to pick a side. People expect you to
They
pick a
expect
side.
you to
though,
do
you know?
that, and it's
that's
just
what it is.
Yeah.
People expect you, and I'll be honest with you. I don't care what anybody says. This is the truth. If it wasn't for the fans gassing and stoking this up for years, I think they would have pushed their bullshit to the side.
Yeah, I feel you. No, I think that
Literally,
does have a lot
the
to it.
fans made this what it is. Like they took the, there was an opening, there was a wound, and the fans literally each stuck a knife in that wound and just pulled it apart.
Yeah.
And you know
They took out
what?
a chunk.
I will admit that I was a little bit a part of that. There was some feelings I had. You know,
I love a good battle, but now to be fair, when I read all that, I hate to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that shit tore me up. Now you go. You go. You
No,
go.
all I'm
I'm
saying
bad
is
with
like,
interrupting.
you know, we've been a part of that. When we first started this channel, we did come out and say some stuff against, you know, about Twisted and against Twisted and stuff. We've since changed our kind of views on that. It's not as big of a deal anymore, but it did. You know, people felt some kind of way about this shit, and I think
No,
it was.
and I totally get
Yeah,
that.
it was
though.
a
People-
deep thing, man, and yeah. So, but
But you know what? It's very stand up and respectful, and it takes a man to admit that, because most people, I mean, when I fuck up, man, I fuck up just like everybody else. And sometimes I've got to sit back and think, is it me? Like, am I the one that's like looking at this the wrong way? And many times I've called up homies or artists that I've worked with and say, you know what, man, I've really been thinking about this. And like, I think you're right and I'm wrong, and I just want to apologize to you, and let's fucking just get past this.
Sure.
yeah, man, that's what
You know,
man.
it's okay to be wrong. It's not okay to not man up and own it.
Yeah.
You know, we're human. We're all gonna fuck up and be wrong. There's nothing disrespectful about being wrong. You know, there's nothing like bad about that, because that's part of life.
That said,
You're not going to figure life out unless you have wrongs, until you fuck up. That's what makes you successful. You got to take your fuck ups and own them and figure out how not to do that again.
Church.
I was gonna say, like that said, you get a text tomorrow from Rob inviting you to the gathering. Are you saying like, all right, I'm there?
Put me on the spot.
That's a thought right there, huh?
I mean, I guess it'd probably be have to be a little bit of a phone call, a little bit more of a conversation, I'm sure. But
Honestly, I don't think they would ever do that. I just don't. I don't think they would. But like, you know, I do feel a little bit disrespected.
Yeah.
Like I said, I understand. I'm not saying they're not supposed to feel how they feel. You can't help how you feel.
Yep.
But that has nothing to do with me.
Yep.
Yeah, you've always shown devotion to the Juggalo world and dedication, so it's kind of fucked up for them to throw you in that same pot when you personally have done nothing offensive to psychopathic.
Yeah, and I was going to
in any
say,
way.
you're probably one of the big reasons why the community has been able to find a balance in a way, you
I'd
know,
agree with
the
that.
two different sides. You're one of the person that made that platform to actually keep it there.
I've got a lot of
Yeah, him
respect for
low-key.
Psychopathic. I mean, they've done some really cool stuff. You know that's been part of my career that's kind of helped me move along. I mean, it didn't hurt my career at all that they've booked me for, you know, seven gatherings. I mean, I've been, I think, on 2 big ballers. I mean, they've included me on some pretty cool stuff. And I mean, you know, Joe did a song with me, and you know, he didn't charge me or anything. He did it just out of love. You know, I mean, I used to, you know, me and Joe used to be pretty cool. I mean, I've had some really good talks with Joe, and you know, I've never had I haven't spoke with Joe since any of this happened, but like I said, I understand like why there's a rift, but it just doesn't have anything to do with me. You know,
Agreed.
I look at it like a mom and a dad in a divorce.
We've said that, yeah. So,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna, you know, like, I get it, mom and dad, you're fighting,
Yeah.
and I hope you all can work through it, but like, don't tell me to pick a side.
Yeah, exactly. Don't bring me in this shit.
I don't even want to be in the conversation. It's like,
You,
y'all are arguing.
Dude, they're
Cool,
that's mom and dad. But I was gonna say Buckshot is our cool hippie uncle.
Our cool uncle, yeah.
It's
yeah.
just like
He's
he's
like
just
a
like,
cool
man,
uncle,
y'all,
yeah.
y'all can come chill with me,
Like,
man. It's cool.
Let's go to
And
Uncle Buck's.
That's what I'm saying. Without people like Buck in the community, I think it probably would have split even worse.
More,
we
yeah.
need people
Yeah,
like
you have
that.
you have
Truly.
the stitches.
Yeah,
holding
you
together.
have to have people bring in a balance and a platform to where people can be, you know, they don't have to pick a side.
Big Mark in the chat mentioned that you actually were going to have a group with Violent J and Jelly Roll called the Bipolar Bears.
Yeah, that's true. That
Yeah.
that was actually Joe's idea.
Hell yeah.
That would have been sweet.
That would have been really sweet. Yeah, shout
Yeah,
out to
that
Big
was
Mark 83.
you know, when we first did that song together, Run. You know, basically Joe just said, you know, he had a name for the group and he wanted me, him, and Jelly Roll to do it and drop it on Psychopathic. And, you know, Jelly's been my homie for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I called up Jelly and said, hey, you know, what do you think about, you know, you, me, and Joe doing a group group project on Psychopathic? He's like, when we go into Detroit.
right, yeah.
So
Man, that
I
would've been
told
epic.
Joe, like, we're ready, but it just, you know, it just,
Yeah, we know. We know.
it's in there with
Yeah.
superheroes, and
Yep.
it's
'Cause
one of those projects that obviously will never happen.
And I know before you kind of got into the horrorcore scene with Psychopathic, before that you were doing really like southern, almost like thug rap. Like you were more in the scene. Like we're talking like late '90s. '97 is when you started, right?
Yeah, I dropped my first single. My first
96.
single came out in '96.
Yeah.
But like, even if you go back to like my first few albums, like I had like dark, wicked shit on them.
Yeah.
But I mean, naturally, you know, when I've been a horror fan my whole life, my whole career, and there's a lot of elements of horror, you know, or horror elements in my music. But like,
Yeah.
I've never ever, even like with the Cabal stuff, which is like the darkest stuff that I do,
Yeah.
I don't consider Cabal horrorcore at all. It's
Word.
just dark, wicked music.
Wicked shit.
Yeah, yeah, wicked
But
shit.
you know, I was actually what got me like a fan into this scene was like many years ago was I had a homie from Saginaw, Michigan, and he turned me on to Esham.
Yeah.
And I was an Esham fan first. And then I remember one time I was in the mall and I'd heard of ICP, but I never really checked out their stuff. And I remember seeing Esham featured on Carnival of Carnage.
Yeah.
And for some reason that I didn't buy that CD, but that put ICP on my radar.
Yeah.
And then I remember when Ringmaster came out, I remember I was like looking at like new releases and I was like, oh, Insane Clown Posse. I'm like, those are,
Oh no. Oh no.
Did some interference here. Sorry, Buck.
Hold on just a second. A little interference.
Oh, he's gone. I hope it's not me. Hey, I got new internet last week.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
Hold on.
But I'll tell you this. The interview, I mean, this is a pretty riveting interview, I must say, man.
No, Buck's
saying
super
it's good.
Props to
interesting.
fucking Buck, dude.
As soon as he comes back in.
Oh.
Oh, there he is. There
All
he
right,
is.
here we go. All right.
I don't know what happened.
Oh.
Are we back?
Yeah, I can
Oh,
hear
yeah,
you.
we're
We
back.
can
We
hear you
good.
and see you.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, good deal. So anyway, and I ended up buying Ringmaster, and like, I was like, man, this shit's dope. Like I loved it. And then, obviously I got Riddlebox and, uh Great Malenko. I mean, I just became, a super huge fan of the movement. But like, even though I didn't do horrorcore music, I mean, I was buying Bedlam and Flatliners and Gravediggers. I like really loved horrorcore music. I just didn't do like, to me, a lot of horrorcore music to me is corny.
No, yeah,
There's
it
a
depends,
lot
yeah.
of people who do it good, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying some of it, it's still entertaining, but it's just some of it is just a little corny for me.
I feel
Sure.
you.
No, we
I
get
100%
it.
agree. Yeah, we're into the whole scene, but like I 100% agree.
I think
but,
you have to have more elements than just horror.
Yeah.
You have to have comedy. You have to have some other stuff in there.
And I think
make
a big
it a
key is
whole
also.
package.
I think a big key is also when it sounds natural and not forced. And a
yeah.
lot of times it just sounds forced, like they're following a formula, and it's not
Right.
authentic. There's authentic darkness, and I think that's kind of like maybe what you're getting at. In your music, it's not that you're hearing a horrorcore theme. It's just that you have elements of darkness because you speak a lot from kind of a street view of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I originally knew about you in like the early 2000s. I'd say 2003, 2004. You had you were doing shit with Haystack. And yeah, Haystack. Like you had what was the album called? No White Flags.
No White Flags.
Yeah, No White Flags. Even back then, you had elements of like wicked shit in there. You know what I mean? Like you were still putting a lot of like that dark imagery into your lyrics.
I mean that was big just in hip hop. Period. You had Eminem and ICP was already out. That the people that got them on previous Ghetto Boys and other things. I mean, horror has always been for many years now a big part of hip hop. There's always been a dark element to it.
Yeah, life has dark elements, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Now, sorry. I was going to ask you, like, because I was kind of reading up a little on your history and everything. Are you still down with Casey Hustle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
is
my
that like
dog,
still one of
man.
your boys? Yeah. Now, is
Yeah.
he? You were seeing the name Casey.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. Like every one of your albums, it says produce. One of the executive producers is Casey Sheridan. Is that the same person?
That's Casey Hustle. Same
Okay.
person.
Good shit.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what's his relation with you and Mob Style?
I know it's like Interstate, right? Was his record label?
He did have he does have a label called Interstate Records that it was just kind of like a solo thing he had ventured out, that he was doing. But like Casey's been down 2000 and 2000. I've been friends with Casey for 24 years.
Oh damn.
And it just started out, honestly, man. I met Casey at an event, like a music event. And he was just like, he started out, he was kind of like more like a fan.
Okay.
And just like, he just started coming to our events and we just became like really good friends. And then just one thing led into another. And then, especially when I went to prison, he kind of like held things down for me and helped out.
Okay.
That was like late
and then,
2000s, yeah.
And then when I got out of prison, I was just like, you really held it down for me when I was in prison. Like, do you just want to jump in? You are Mob Style, bro. You want to just jump in and do this shit with me? And, he just he fills in all the holes that I can't fill in.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like
I
your
feel you.
business. He's your business partner, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. I always see his name, so I'm like, who is this character? Like
He's
Right,
the
right.
consigliere.
He's helping-
He's the consigliere of the family.
he's somehow
Right,
helping
yeah,
bring us
there you
Buckshot,
go.
but
I mean, you got to have people like that on your side,
Oh, yeah,
man.
dude.
That getting the job done. I mean,
Thank goodness for the Caseys of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
We have some we normally give a shout out to the chat. We didn't do it, but that's just because we were having a great conversation. But I did want to point out just a couple of people were, kind of giving shout outs and stuff. But a lone 187, can you tell Bukshot thank you for taking the photo with me at New Year's Evil? Hopefully he remembers. I look at that photo all the time with pride. 2 hearts. I'll never forget it.
That's awesome. I took a lot of pictures that night, but I'm sure if I saw his face, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember you."
Yeah,
I'm really
absolutely.
good with faces, but
Absolutely. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm glad that was a cool memory for you and a moment in time we shared. So
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you do have a consensus around the underground for being like a really cool dude. Everybody, that's why I think you've worked with so many artists because you have a good reputation in that regard.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I mean, you've worked with fucking everybody.
That's one thing I'll say. Like,
who do you like in the rap? You could list your top 10 rappers, and you've worked with them.
It's
me not knowing much
you're not
about
on the
Buck
list.
before we started this channel and everything, man. Your rep is like solid, man. It's like I mean, there's no holes in it. Like, you just got this rep. Like, you've united the underground. You make this music, you get these people together, and it's like, well, I mean, how does that make you feel? I mean, like, yeah, you're almost like, I mean, you started out as a fan of ICP, then you started working with him, became, one-on-one talking with Joe and stuff like that. I mean,
I always felt like I was a juggalo that didn't even know what a juggalo was. I was like I've never painted my face. That's never been my thing. I've had a lot of fans that say you should paint your face, and I'm actually against that because to me, I feel like that's something sacred. That
I agree. I don't paint my face either. I totally agree with that.
this isn't a knock at anybody that paints their face.
Yeah, no, not a knock, but I agree
At all. But like I said, hey, you do your thing. I'm just saying this is about me, like what I feel.
I feel the same
I've
way.
always felt like, obviously the only people in my head, in my world, that painted their faces that I gave, like, I don't want to call it a pass, but I gave a pass to was Isham and Aquelio. Because Aquelio were painting their faces, dude. They probably didn't even know anything about juggalos.
Yeah, right.
They ended up playing gatherings or whatnot, but they were on. They're from Houston, Texas, and they were on their own thing. Like, if you know them guys, like, those guys don't bite nothing. Like, they're in their own world. They're
Creative
actually very
juggernauts.
dope artists.
Yeah, those are the
But-
type of artists that I really try to look into. So I
But
don't know.
and
I don't
in
know
fact-
anything about them. So we got to look them up.
Quailio. I'll check
yeah,
them out.
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah, but and then Tech Nine, obviously Tech,
Oh, yeah.
you used to paint his face, but like, to me, I felt like that was from a moment in time. It was like a sacred thing. It was like the artist who painted their faces, it was like that was their thing, and like that was their thing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
like I don't want to that's not my thing. Like, I think it's cool. I think it would be dope. The ideas crossed my mind, like for a like for a show.
Yeah.
But I was just like, nah, it's cool. Like, but it's like, it's a respect thing. I think
No, I get it.
it's
I
kind of
totally
like,
agree,
I
man.
don't feel like I should do that because that was their thing. That it's a respect thing with me.
I felt that same way, and I think it's like an artist. Like, if you're a fellow artist in the community, you kind of feel that, like, I don't want to do this.
I
you
like
know?
seeing the theatrics when they're authentic, but
Yeah.
I feel like if you're doing it just to pander, it's cringy and whack.
Yeah. Well, that's all
Right. No, I agree with that exactly.
That's why I was going to ask it, like, regarding that, if you ever had anybody ever like try to pressure you into painting your face, or did you ever even get to the point where you were like jotting down designs for face paint or anything like that?
I think he's a
No, I've had a few artists before, artists who painted their faces, several. I'm not going to say any names, but they've basically said, like, Buck, like, you know how dope that would be if you painted your face? And I know that's like a real cosign because this is coming from
Yes.
the OGs. And,
Yeah.
and I was like, and I told them the same thing. I was like, I thought about I've thought about it because people have brought it, have said it so much to me. Fans were like, dude, it'd be so cool if you painted your face. So it made me just think of the idea of it. And it's like, aesthetically, yeah, it would look cool. But for me, it was still more the respect thing.
Yeah.
It was like, I still didn't feel comfortable with it because the respect.
Yeah.
You know what? And
It's in a weird way, it's almost like the feeling. It's like talking to your homie's ex-girlfriend, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just like that
Totally makes
unwritten
sense.
rule. You just don't do it. And
Sure.
that's just how it made me
No,
feel.
that's respectable.
But you know what, man? You didn't paint your face, and what we got was we got a fresh ass mug with a dope ass beard, man.
Yeah,
And
keep the
someti-
beard.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
that's better than anything, man. You just want to fucking you just want a presence in that beard, bro.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody said, Violent J, the Southwest Gangstero, said in the comments, Buck unboxings are nuts. That's something I wanted to bring up, man. You, I think, lead the fucking industry. I'm not talking about just the underground. I'm talking about the industry in collector's editions and things, boxes, when you're buying albums. Like some of
Do you
those
want-
Cabal
me to
boxes, the
grab one?
packages that you get.
I have a Cabal one right here.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
actually
grab
has
that
the
shit
Cabal
out,
one. But
fuck.
like, if you see some of these unboxings that people like, I love Megs and DC Fago Guy. They're two of my favorites that do unboxings of your albums. But like,
Yeah, DC Fago guy's the shit.
he
I
is.
love that.
He's a
dude.
fucking
Yeah.
ace. Yeah, he's the man. But like, they'll do some unboxing and like,
Man, I'll say this: I had never seen anything like this. Like this is
it's
nuts,
fucking
dude.
mind blowing, man. I think like, and it sucks because we'll get these collections from Psychopathic. I'm just gonna give name drop, but we'll get collections from them, and they'll be kind of a letdown. It'll just be a 6 CD set or something. They'll call it a collection, and then I see something like this. There's so much passion and thought and ingenuity put into this stuff. It's like baffling, dude, how you pull this stuff off.
I mean, look how dope that shit is. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
That is
Yes.
fucking so sweet.
It's insane. There's just the craftsmanship and everything is just legit as hell. I wanted to ask you, do you like do all the outsourcing for that and put these together, or is it a company that helps you do this?
No, I mean, obviously there's a company that makes it, but I'm 1,000% hands-on in every inch of the creation.
Yeah,
of
you'd have to be.
Oh, 100%.
You would fucking me being an artist. Yeah, you have to. You're
Jesus, man.
not. Yeah, this shit is amazing.
It's insane. It's just like next level shit. When you buy something from like your collections, I think almost every single time you're getting like outrageous dopeness. You know what I mean? Like way more, I think, than even what you're paying.
my philosophy, whenever I do like
wanna fuck it up.
whenever I do like those crazy, like boxes like that, the last box I did before that was the Cabal Pyramid box. And then before that, we did like the Double Dragon. It was like the Nintendo box. And
Oh yeah, that was so dope.
my whole philosophy on it is I always want to outdo what I did last time.
You
And
kind
it
of do.
gets to a point, it gets hard because it's like, to me, when I did the Cabal Pyramid, it's like, how the hell do I top this? That was such a cool idea.
Fuck yeah.
In retro, the only thing that I would have done different with the Cabal box is I probably would have made it bigger.
Okay.
But other than that, I thought the Cabal box was awesome. But then when I did the pit, what you all were just holding, the Cabal pit,
Yeah.
it's like, how do I top that?
Hey,
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
I got
think
an idea for you. The Cabal black hole. I don't know how you can do it,
Just-
but make
it's
a
just-
fucking make a black hole.
Can you reverse engineer reality? Can you?
I mean, a particle accelerator. I don't know. We'll do something dope, but we'll make a black hole somehow.
Right.
Little terrier. There's the terrier. What is the terrier's name?
Titan.
Titan. That's a dope ass name.
I apologize for asking
course.
if that was a Shih Tzu earlier, by the way.
Hold on. Timmy, whatever you're doing, stop. I'm doing this interview and you're making Titan go crazy.
There, your church.
Hey, man.
Thank you.
Hey, man, I have to yell at my kids during the podcast. They're upstairs stomping around. I'm like, quit it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we did have Gage, who was really interested in like your work with Cabal. He was wondering, how did you meet with Low Key and Mr. Gray? Like, how'd you guys like initiate this group? how did that meeting first go?
And by the way, I do want to say Cabal is what got me into Buckshot, and
Yeah.
that is
Fantastic.
That's what brought me in, and now I'm all in.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
awesome, man.
You know?
That's really dope.
Yeah, Cabal was really what got me too. I didn't know much about this kind of underground. ICP is about how far I go, but I heard that Cabal shit and I was like, holy moly, fuck this.
Well,
is
yeah,
nuts.
because the last, like I said, for me, the last exposure I really had to you was around 2004. Like I said, when I knew you were I was real into the underground rap scene at that time, and like I said,
Let's talk about Cabal.
but yeah. But anyway, Cabal definitely brought me back. That shit is just like y'all, man, killed that on every single level.
Real quick question. Sorry, I keep giving you these.
No,
we
we're
keep
good.
giving you these stacked questions here. But is that your baby? Is that your idea? Where does that come from?
Yeah. Cabal is, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be Cabal without, Low Key and Mr. Gray, but like the storyline and like the birth. It's just, I've got a wild imagination. And
Yeah, because that's what I'm kind of getting from is you got the imagination, you got this vision that you're kind of bringing these people on with, and
yeah,
I really,
I met Mr. Gray one time. Kung Fu Vampire was on tour,
Yeah.
and he came through Louisville, and he had Mr. Gray with him. Mr. Gray was on he was part of the tour, and that was when I met Mr. Gray, and him and I have just been, we've been homies ever since. And personally, I think Mr. Gray personally is one of the dopest artists in the underground. I don't think he gets his due shine.
He is dope as fuck.
Yeah.
He
He's
is
so
just so
unique.
dope and slept on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he is just dope. And obviously I feel the same way about Low Key. I met Low Key online, and we've just been homies ever since.
Mhm.
And like, I know how Low Key is. He doesn't really work with a lot of people. He's got like a small circle in his wheelhouse, and he just kind of fucks with them.
Yeah.
And I've got a crazy respect for Low Key, because I can't tell you how many people I've seen get on Facebook or Twitter or whatever and say, like, I reached out to Low Key and I offered him a shit ton of money for a feature, and he'll be like, he just left me on red.
Yeah.
And like,
That's dope.
I like money. Money helps make the whole thing work.
Sure.
And I mean, I have gotten paid features before that I had to send them their money back. It was so bad I couldn't do it. And but like,
Damn.
I respect that.
I wanna
Yeah, I
hear-
respect that.
I want to hear more about that, but we'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
yeah, and that sucks. Like, when the money's in your hand and you're like, you've already in your head, it's already spent, and you're
Yeah.
like, I can't do this because I do care about my legacy, and like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, it's not going to work right now. But
Yeah.
going back to the Low Key thing, it's like when someone's offering you, I could have swore one time I read somebody say I offered him like $1,000, and
Yeah.
like he just didn't even he read it and didn't respond, and like that's a lot of respect, because like Low Key's just he's a very picky dude.
Yeah.
He just doesn't work with anybody, and I respect that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, not every artist can just fuck with anybody or everybody. And so when I even hit Low Key up with the idea of doing Cabal, I literally went into it that it was just going to be a no.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Loke respected me, and like, he's my homie, and we had already done songs together at
But
this
that's a
point.
big project.
Yeah, that's a very big
Yeah,
undertaking, yeah.
But I just honestly thought Low Key was just going to be like, I'm too busy, or I think he would have let me down respectfully if he didn't want to do it. And I was a little like, wow, when he was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because that's one thing I love about Low Key. From a fan base perspective, like anytime that you give him any props or any mention or anything, he's always good at reciprocating that he appreciates that. You know what I mean? He's always really, really cool to fans. So yeah.
Yeah, he's very authentic. His music is authentic.
Yeah.
Me personally, I hail Low Key. To me, he is the king of horrorcore. That's-
We've said that.
You
Yeah,
ain't the
it's-
only
yeah.
one, man. Almost
We have
everybody
said
we
that.
know says the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you won't get no argument here.
Yeah.
But like low key is dope. He puts out really dope merch. Like I look at some of his merch sometimes, and sometimes it makes me a little jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hold on. Quick
He might- hopefully
hiccup. Yeah, quick
Yeah.
hiccup in the connection.
Quick hiccup.
This happens. It wouldn't be Deck Wendell
we
without
left
a few.
off. We left off at
Low-key.
Loki's merch makes him jealous.
Yeah.
Because this shit is good.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's fucking killing it.
But I'm telling
Amazing
you, man,
guest.
that great. This is
Bukshot is an amazing guest,
exa-
guys.
one of our best episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's exhilarating to talk to. So
Guys, if you got questions for Buck when he comes back in here, pop them in the chat. We'll get to them. We're
Just waiting on
such
him
a genuine
to
dude.
reconnect.
I'm getting such genuine vibes from
All right.
this guy.
Let me. Did
There
you
he
all
is.
know that I just cut off?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We've been talking
Right
about-
around
Oh,
low
okay.
key. You
There you go.
you said low key last.
You said you were
all
jealous of
still
his merch.
see me though?
Yes, we can see you.
yes.
Yep.
So when that happens, I can just keep talking.
Well, you did cut out both ways.
Yeah.
We couldn't see you or hear you,
Okay.
but you just came back, and now we're good.
Yeah.
Now we're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so I know what to do next because we're good. So anyway, but what was I just saying though? It was about low.
Loki's merch. You kind of seen that, and you were a little bit like, "Oh, damn."
yeah. No, just low key puts out some like really really good quality merch.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just like low key. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Low key, in my opinion, is very underrated, and he should be way bigger than he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you
low
what.
key is, he's just dope.
With our circle and the people that listen to us, it's not that way at all. He's you
He's
and him
king.
are very praised.
Yeah, he's kind of like goated. Yeah, he's
Yes.
goated. I think
Yes.
in the real underground scene, not just horrorcore, but just underground in general. I think Loki has reached goated status in my opinion.
You
Same
too,
with you
man.
guys. Yeah,
People,
same with you.
People go you as like a general, bro. I'm telling you. Like,
yeah.
I get in our
I appreciate that.
I get in our Discord and I start reading shit, and I'm like, man, Buck, you're goated in that shit.
Well, Buck,
Yeah.
it
That's awesome, man.
probably
Yeah.
helps too that our Discord is Buckshot themed.
it really was.
It's
yes.
called, it's still called
It's still called the Buck
we call our Discord and our people in the Discord the Buck Fucks.
yes, the buck
That's
fucks.
cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Really?
all. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, we
The house
you
of
know,
Buck.
Once we all got hip to Buckshot, we were all like just clamoring for Buckshot.
Yeah,
we,
sweating.
We were changing our usernames. Like somebody was Yellowback, like Pikachu. I mean, there's but
Yeah,
random-
yeah. We would each pick. We would pick like our favorite bar, and we would make that our name. So
Yeah,
we were
man.
like, all right, everybody pick like your favorite Buckshot bar, and let's make that like our name.
That's what I wanted to. I wanted to praise you on that, man. Like you're.
Mine was Buck Norris because
I-
that shit was dope.
One thing I
Hell yeah.
hey, I named my shotgun in Fallout Buck Norris.
Yeah, that's a shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's dope. Dude, I'm a big Fallout head, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I just
Oh,
got
dude,
into it.
It's the shit, dude.
Oh, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I had almost 600 hours logged into it.
Yeah, I'm at 740. I'm with you. Yeah, the settlements, man. Like,
Yeah.
I spent so
Just
much
Chris
time
is the
on
only
that
one
shit.
that could beat Buck at the fucking
No.
hour count.
well, to be fair though, that was because I was broke as fuck when I got that game. That was a period when I had no money, and that was the only game I had for like a year. So to be fair,
Bro, when Fallout 5 comes out, you all ain't gonna get no music from me for like a year, bro. It's over.
If they what we do is gonna be a wasteland themed album.
right.
Right.
That would be dope, dude. It's
not
fucking
just
a
super
Fallout
famous
theme,
now.
man. Try that. That'd be
Oh,
dope
but
as
yeah,
shit.
not to get off the course, but yeah, so Low Key was dope. Mr. Gray was dope. And I was like, how nobody would see that coming. Like the fact Low Key even said yes, 'cause I knew he was going to say no going into it. So I'm like, wow, Loke said yes. Mr. Gray was just down. And I just thought the dynamic of the three of us would just make a really cool, dark, like occult feeling album, and just like it just it flourished into what it was. I honestly I don't think Low Key I don't think he realized how big Cabal was going to get off the first one.
Yeah.
But I could tell when we started the pit, he was pretty hyped. Like he was a lot more, he had a lot more ideas, and just like he was more I'm not going to say he wasn't in it the first time, but I just think that Cabal opened his eyes like this is something for real, and like
Yeah.
he was just way more involved with the process of the pit, and that to me, I think that's I don't like to toot my own horn, but I think that's a classic underground
Oh,
album.
100%.
I agree,
it's,
dude.
It's near perfect.
The
Both
pit-
of
I'm not
them,
kidding
but
you. Yeah.
I think I agree with you 100%. And I could tell, like, listening to the Watchers, like, it's obvious that, like, you guys are trying something out. But with the pit, like, it was honed. You guys knew what you were doing. I mean,
Yeah, I
that
think
album
they're-
fucking rules. That's my favorite album of last year, without a doubt.
Yeah, we would.
That's
Yeah, we would
awesome.
put it up for album of the year for sure.
Oh, it
100%.
is my album of the year,
Yeah,
without a
for
doubt,
sure.
dude. I was just bumping it again, like last week. Like, God fucking damn, this.
There's so
album
many
rules.
strengths, I think, because the three of you have unique styles, and not only that, your voices.
Yeah.
You're kind of like a baritone. Low-key's kind of on the higher, and Gray's kind of.
He's doing whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gray,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Gray goes like all over the place. Yeah, so
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah, but we appreciate, we appreciate the bars, that bring it home. You know what I mean? And we feel like you
Right.
do that. We feel like you
yeah,
got
you are
that.
a barologist.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't have to be a fucking, you don't have to be Eminem on the mic every fucking time. Give us some fucking bars that bring it home. That's what we
Yes.
want.
The Pit was the most complicated album I've ever done in my life until this new UGA album.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and even Rob Rebeck, the guy, it's wild. As I'm talking to you all, I literally, I don't know if y'all see my hand going up. I'm getting notifications and I'm moving them off the screen, but I could see Rob just sent me the finished, like the WAV files, like it's done.
Oh, nice. There you go, everyone
so-
watching.
But that album, the new UGA album, was so complex. There was so much that, even more than the Cabal album, there was a lot that went into. Rob even said, he was like, "Bro, you've never sent me this many files in my life." Like,
Yeah.
it was
Damn.
it's a huge album.
Wow.
It's just
So-
super. Yeah, it's just it was just a lot.
So I got a question about that. So do you do mixing and stuff like that, or do you engineer all the vocals and send them out to a mixer? If you don't want to share this stuff, that's fine.
Yeah, no. I'm not a mixed guy at all. I've got a great ear for it. Like, I know what needs to be done, but I'm not good enough or technical enough to do it on my own. I mean, if I mixed my own stuff, it would sound good, but it wouldn't sound like the way it sounds
Yeah.
when I've got Rob doing it. I mean, dude, Rob is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Rob was doing Tech 9 for like 12 years before Tech 9 even blew up. Like,
Yeah.
Rob is the shit. And that's why, that's why I utilize Rob.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
you'll-
gotta have a
and,
guy on the
But
inside.
you'll take sessions and look at them and fuck around with them and then send them out to Rob, or I'm just
I'll
trying to get a
I'll get
handle on.
everything done and placed, and then
Yeah.
Boondocks will send me his files, Class will send me his files,
Like stems and shit like
then
that.
I send it all to Rob, and
Gotcha.
like Rob's a master. He puts it all together.
So, I have to ask, like, you said you've been working with Rob Rebeck. I think you've been working with him for a few albums at least. Is that safe to say, or is this your first one?
After Anomaly 88 came out, no, Quietus. He didn't do Quietus. Quietus came out in 2020. So I've been dealing with Rob exclusively since the beginning of 2021. 3 years.
Oh, wow,
Rob's been doing all my mixes for the last 3 years.
And for what it's worth, I mean, they sound great.
Oh yeah, no, those mixes are amazing.
Oh yeah, Rob's phenomenal.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Shout out Rob.
At this point, I mean, do you just have 7 on your payroll? I mean, how's that work? Because I mean, you're single-handedly got to be keeping that guy in business.
I'm not gonna go there.
No, he's a killer.
I
yeah.
will tell you, Seven told me when he was he's got all the tracks he does in folders, and he was like, bro, he's like, your folder is like bigger than everybody else's folders combined. He was like,
I have a computer just
Well,
for you.
dude, you know what's up, bro. You know what's up. Me, I fancy myself as a slight musician,
Yeah.
and Seven is one of the best. So I mean,
yeah, Seven,
yeah.
Seven is special, man. He's
Yeah.
a special dude.
Yeah, I
I've
mean,
never utilized a producer like I have Seven.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because at some point with a lot of producers in the past, I've noticed a lot of their stuff start sounding similar or redundant.
Mhm.
And like, I don't know, man, like Seven just knows how to keep evolving and like
No, he understands. He understands music.
he gets it.
He
The monster,
understands
man.
music.
Yeah.
He understands melody. He understands different genres to pull from, and that's what all great producers and you got that. You understand that, and I think that's why that's why the music comes out the way it does. So, props to
Right.
that.
On Mob Style, like I wanted to ask on Mob Style, other than you, what other artists do you have working with Mob Style? Now, is Lon Squad with Mob Style?
Yeah,
They are-
the only artist right now signed to Mob Style like exclusively is Lon
Lon
Squad.
Squad. Okay, and I
I
saw.
mean, obviously, I've been doing the turncoat dirty stuff with Boondocks,
Yeah.
and then Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray isn't signed to Mob Style, but he works with us, pretty hardcore. So
Absolutely.
up.
I know Loon Squad's gonna be at Camp Zool as well as you too.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're having like our month of Zool. We figured it would be perfect to start off with you. One because you're one of our favorite rappers, but two also because you're going to be there. So it feels like a good lead in to have a big act, and not only big act, but also the label head to Loon Squad who will also be there. How'd
right.
you?
Yeah.
how-
Loon Squad, they've been doing some really good numbers. Like
Yeah.
they've been selling a lot of CDs.
They're dope as fuck.
growing.
Yeah,
Hell
they're
yeah.
very dope, man. How'd you get introduced to Loon Squad? Did you just introduce to them like through the trenches or whatever, however you'd want to put it?
Well, Boogie is from Louisville, and I've known Boogie for a long time. But like back in 2014, when me, Boondocks, Crucifix, and Aqualio, we went on the Wormwood tour in 2014. Boogie actually came on that tour. He was our merch guy. He did
Oh,
all of
okay.
our merch. And, Boogie's kind of like been like mob style for a long time, but just, like 2 years ago, Boogie hit me up and he said, I knew he fooled around with rapping, but I never really like checked him out.
Yeah.
And because like I just thought it was more like hobby type shit. I didn't take him serious because he's never came across to me as serious.
Yeah.
And he hit me up one day, and Crawley, the Dewey, who's the other person in Loon Squad. They've been like best friends for many years. They've been like homies for a long time.
Right.
And I knew who Crawley was because Crawley. Well, they had actually did a song together on my Assimilation album that came out. I think it was 2015,
Yeah.
and they did a song with me then. But like I said, I knew Boogie was like rapping. I just didn't know how serious he was being with it.
Hell yeah.
And he hit me up 2 years ago, and he was like, Buck, he was like, I want to do an album. Me and Dewey are going to do a Loon Squad album. And he was like, is there any way you could just help me do it? And I was like, of course. I mean, Boogie's like literally one of my best friends.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you need help with? And he was like, just anything you'll help me with. He was like, I want Seven to produce it. He's like, I want Rob to mix it. I want to record it with Slick, who's my engineer. He's got an amazing studio downtown Louisville.
Dope.
Yeah.
And he was like, I literally want to do it the exact way that you would do it on Mob Style. He was like, I don't care what it costs. I don't want to cut any corners,
Yeah.
and I was like, that really got my attention because like, I respected that. Like he's wanting to do it the right way, not, cut any corners. And I
Yeah.
was like, of course. So, I hit Seven up and said, hey, I need you to do me a favor. And I hit everybody up and was like, I'm helping my boy do this project.
Yeah.
And then I knew when it was about wrapped up, it was never going to come out on Mob Style. I mean, that was just never the idea of it.
Yeah.
And then Slick, my engineer, hit me up and he was like, hey, man, he's like, your boys, Boogie and them, like they just did this Loon Squad album. I was like, yeah. And he's like, have you heard it yet? And I was like, is it bad? And he's like, no, man. He was like, it's actually pretty dope. And like, to me, that's a lot from Slick, because he doesn't just like compliment shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Boondocks. Boondocks isn't a complimenting person. So if
Yeah.
Boondocks tells you a compliment, you know it's fucking it's real, because he's just not like a complimentative person, you know.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And uh so, you know, Slick sent it to me and I listened to it and I was just like, wow, like for their first album, like this is pretty good.
Yeah, they're dope.
So I ended up hitting up Boogie and, you know, said, hey, I got this wild idea. Why don't we release it? I mean, because I already looked, even though he wasn't an artist, I already looked at Boogie as mob style. Like he's mob style in the heart. Like I don't, beside me, I honestly, I don't know if I know anybody who loves mob style more than Boogie. Like this isn't even during the Lon Squad days. This is like just in general. Like Boogie just
He's all
legit,
in.
he loves mob style. So like I already looked at him like he's mob style, but you know, and we put the album out and it did great numbers, and you know, fast forward 2 years and you know we've got their new album almost done. It's coming out this year.
Hell yeah.
And so yeah, so they're part of the wheel.
Hell
Peep
yeah.
Lon Squad if you haven't already.
Yeah, peep it out.
Spoke on the wheel.
Now, have you performed at Camp Zool before?
Yeah, this will be my third Camp Zool.
Third Camp Zool. Hell yeah. This only the fourth?
I missed last year.
Fourth or fifth?
Last year I didn't get booked for it, but they
okay.
reached back. They reached back out this year.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
didn't remember seeing you last year, just because to be aware, I was just really aware of Camp Zool last year. I'm back on the
Right.
scene, pretty new.
Shout out to Gage, DC.
Yeah, all the people who were really introducing us to
telling
this modern
what's
scene.
up with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some good guides
Yes,
in
we
the
do.
scene getting us back into it. But yeah,
Cool.
you were always at the top of that list and everything. But what do you think of the crowd at Camp Zool versus like the Gathering?
I mean, it's obviously smaller, but I mean, the gathering's fucking huge.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
but
saying,
no,
like,
dude, like Camp Zool, I mean, Zooligans and like just the Camp Zool crowd, I look forward to it.
absolutely.
I mean, I was a little sad when they didn't reach out last year, but
Yeah.
like, I get it. You can't just keep bringing the same people every year. You
Yeah.
got to switch it up.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, I had several people ask and hit me up, like, is everything cool? Like with you and Zool? And I'm like, well, yeah, why wouldn't it be? And they're like, well, they didn't reach out, you know, for camp. And I'm like, dude, like, they can't get the same people every single year, because
Sure.
then it's just like, it doesn't give a lot of people an incentive to, you know, like I'd like to be there, but I did see this same lineup last year, so maybe I'll see what they do. You know, but you got to
right.
keep switching it up.
You got to disappear to be missed sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And to that point, that's a big reason why Buckshot, you don't really tour. You just do like shows here and there.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I'm not afraid to tour. It's just like I'm so busy. I mean, I would tour, but I'm just so busy doing all these group projects, and I'm hands-on with everything. I'm hands-on in I've got, you know, we've got a warehouse now. I'm hands-on there. It's hard to make everything function the way it does if I'm not hands-on.
I would say
And-
this: as much as we want you to tour and we would love to see you tour, I think that would take away from the spot that you've created for yourself. Like you have,
I could see that. I mean, in a weird way, it's almost like I've dug myself in a hole. You
Yeah,
know, like
you
by
call-
not touring a lot.
call it
The,
a hole or whatever, but you have this spot, this mediator spot, and if you started touring it kind of concentrated on yourself, I don't think it'd be there anymore like that.
No, I agree. I mean, I feel like I make it to the shows that count.
Yeah.
The
I guess
Godfather,
you-
the Godfather doesn't come out to every barbecue. You know what I'm saying? only the
Right.
big, only the big dinners. I pick my dinners.
I mean, you know, we do Hallow Bleed, which is our annual Halloween show, and then Mob Style Christmas, you know, October, December, every year. You know, I'm usually part of like Astronomicons and Attack of the Ninjas and up until I was part of the gathering. I was in that circuit for 7 years straight.
Yeah.
I've kind of been at the, I feel like the right shows at the right times.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
Yeah, dude.
and it's worked up until this point. So
Hell yeah.
So I want to ask. I'm going back to Underground Avengers. I put myself through like an Underground Avengers clinic this past couple
Like
weeks.
a gauntlet.
The Gauntlet. All right.
heck yeah.
I listened to all. It's just the 3 albums, correct? Or other than the Halloween EP, you have the 3 mainline albums. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, there was the original album, then there was the Apollyon edition,
Yes.
which it had 2 new songs. It had the song with Zool, the Six,
Yes,
and
that
then
song
there was one other song on there called It had 2 bonus tracks.
Okay.
But then we did Anomaly 88 and then Dark Matter, and then obviously the Gateway, which I think it had a skit and 4 new UGA tracks. But it was basically a holdover project between Dark Matter and now Oblivion.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I'm looking forward to. I wish I could get my hands on one of those copies of the 2-disc set, but I want to hear the whole story of this Underground Avengers. Because I'll be honest, listening to it 3 times, I still can't tell if the Underground Avengers are the good guys or the bad guys.
Right.
It depends on the scenario.
Yeah, they have songs where they call themselves villains. They have others where they're ready to kick some aliens' asses.
It's like Catwoman, man.
think
It's
of it
like
like-
Catwoman.
yeah,
They're after their
Catwoman,
own.
But when you call
Stone
yourself
Cold.
a villain, does that make yourself a bad guy, or are you a villain to a bad person?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. It's,
All right.
what side are you looking at? You got to think the hero was a villain
Right.
in somebody's
Just
story.
because you call yourself
That's true.
the villain doesn't make you the bad guy. It just means you are the rival to somebody else. So so technically, if you are the rival to the bad guy, you're a villain in their eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, church.
You're right.
Think of Stone
Yeah.
Cold. You know what I mean? Stone Cold was like an anti-hero, in
Are
wrestling.
you Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I like how your brain box was just like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah,
There you
he
go.
was like a badass that like talks shit, and people are like, oh,
I
I don't
love
want
you,
you watching
Carver.
Stone Cold.
That's
He
just like-
cusses.
That's
love
just
you,
like the
Carver.
Underground Avengers.
That's one really cool thing that we did with these pre-orders. We actually did. It was only limited to 40, but we did a USB drive that has the whole new album on one file on it. But there's a second file called Chain of Events that comes special on the hard drive. And Chain of Events has the whole entire storyline from the beginning until now all on one file. No music.
shit.
You
Oh,
could
wow.
That's
you
dope.
can just hit play and just literally listen to the whole story like a movie.
That's
Oh,
fucking
that's
pretty
dope.
super dope.
I gotta ask this. All right. I was listening to Dark Matter. Who are the actors on Dark? It seems like the same actors, but specifically on Dark Matter, I hate to say this, Buck, but I don't know if you got your money's worth from these actors on Dark Matter.
Right.
Oh, controversial. Keezy with the controversy.
I don't know the guys personally. They're just they're just voiceover artists.
All right.
And do also keep in mind, like when I picked them out, it's almost it's not supposed to sound or feel like a serious Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of more like they're kind of like the goofy,
Campy.
Yes.
right?
Right.
Yeah,
like,
it's supposed to, that was always the intention. They were supposed to feel campy.
Hey, if you want
You
some
know,
goofy
I mean,
campy
like,
shit,
they're-
man, we'll do it for free.
That's essentially what I was getting. I was like, hey man, you got some need some voice guys.
he was pitching. That's all this was. It was a pitch.
I didn't mean to be.
We got you. We got you on here.
No,
we wanted two
not at all.
voices.
But like, if you remember, like on Dark Matter, there's the guy that they call in the middle of the night. Like he's like very, very good and serious. That's General Kalen. And he's part of Oblivion. General Kalen is, but then the campy guys, they're not part of this because they played their part for what it was. I wanted them just to sound like some guys that work third shift in the middle of the night, like they're not important. Their job is like just to kind of sit and watch the computers. Like they're not like, you know, they're not like real serious people, but like,
I don't need
but
you to
now-
shine, boys. I just need a little glow.
No, it was fine.
Hey, I got to throw
they're
DC out
killing
there.
it.
He says Buck knows how to get a hold of me. I can do some voice acting.
Dude, I would shit myself if I heard DC Fago gone.
Oh, I
Bukshot.
didn't realize. It went over my head. We're actually live, aren't we?
Yes, sir, we are.
Oh,
yes,
that's
sir.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
I'm glad I haven't done or said anything fucked up.
I was gonna ask you for secret info on the new album, so I wish I would have asked that earlier.
What do you want?
Well, I mean, I would love to just know. I'm dying to know who some of these features are. That's really who.
Oh
what's
yeah, I
killing
was
me.
going to say because you've got some bars, some mysteries.
They're all blacked out
Yeah,
on the image.
they're
I
blurred
did see.
out.
I have a guess on one person. The first person on Scab. I have a guess because you tried to block it out, but I could kind of see like maybe a letter.
All right. What's your guess?
Dude, I mean, if it is him, I'm gonna be super excited. But to me, it looks like Yellow Wolf.
No, I hate to let you down.
No,
All
no,
right,
no,
man,
hold
that would have been dope. Oh, you gotta get Yellow Wolf on one of those. But no, nevertheless, man, like, come on, who's somebody that? I mean, you're gonna tell us right now
can we
it's gonna
get
be on
one
here, and we're gonna
name?
be like, ah!
Well, like first of all, when you listen to Thanos, and we addressed this on the song, there's a skit at the beginning of Scab that we addressed this, but it's like after Thanos, like where do you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Thanos raised the bar for a posse track so big. And another hint, if you notice on all the posse tracks, we've never used anybody twice.
I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I have noticed.
Have you?
that.
Right.
Yeah.
What Apocalypse?
What?
So we've never
He was thinking actual
like
comics.
like Twisted was on Thanos, so I mean they're not on Scab. Or like Liquid Assassin was on Exit Wounds. He's not going to be on Scab. So anybody that we've used for the first two posse tracks, they're not going to be on this.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
That's good. I love hearing
That's
that.
a big tip.
So it's like, you know what? It's like, where do you go from Thanos? In our world, you can't really get bigger than Thanos because of I mean, Jelly Roll, Crucifix, Twisted, Ritz, Tech 9, Blaze. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really get too much bigger unless you're fucking with more mainstream people.
Yeah.
So if you can't get bigger, there's only one place left to go, and that's back to the fucking underground.
Ooh. And there's only one place to go. Bat Mike.
Back to the fucking underground, and
Right.
we kept it fucking underground,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
the shit.
dope.
That's
Fuck yeah,
dope.
dude.
I love to hear
I
that.
mean that's where you go. You know, once you get to that height, you got to go back down and bring people back up.
All right. Oh, you know what? We haven't heard our homeboys super famous Fun Time guys on one of those tracks.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Hey.
Oh, sorry, my camera was stuck for a second.
We got Clockwork too out there.
Yeah,
You know what I
dope.
mean?
Yeah.
I'd love to see them working.
I was gonna
They've
say.
already worked with Bukshot. I think.
Actually, Gorilla Voltage was on Dark Matter on God Particle.
Well, yeah, that's the rapper Clockwork, but we're talking about Clockwork E.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah,
Clockwork E. Yeah, they're
sorry,
doing the
yep.
scene. What do you think about
Have
them?
you worked with them yet?
No.
Okay.
You haven't?
Didn't know
Okay.
if you were.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I was gonna say they're new on the scene.
Well,
you
if you're filling them out, check them out.
I'll
yeah.
be honest with you. I'll be 1,000% honest. I actually invited them to be on Scab.
Oh, word. Hell yeah.
And they turned it down.
Oh, man.
damn.
Y'all are fucking up.
Oh,
man.
Damn,
man.
Clockwork. Come on,
Oh,
Clockwork.
I got one more guess. Ouija Mac.
No.
Yeah, thank you. I was gonna say, good lord,
All right.
man,
Good,
good lord.
good. All right.
That's a horrible. Well, at least we didn't give away any of the guests. It's still a surprise because that was the worst guess ever.
Hey, the chat was in there.
Yeah, the chat kept saying we.
Chat was asking who's going. But no, man, seriously though, that shit is dope to fucking be able to get, go back to the underground, try to pull these artists out. We got some dope ass artists in the underground right now.
Yeah, you do a lot of shit with Kung Fu Vampire. I know he's like huge in the Juggalo world. Y'all did a Christmas album.
Yeah,
that's
no,
legit.
Kung Fu Vampire. I mean, him and I work together, but Kung Fu and I are like we're real life friends. Like he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a lot of. There's a lot of artists that I'm real cool with, but like I don't like consider them like best friends. You know, like super close homies.
Yeah.
You know, but like, Kung Fu and I like talk very very regular. Like he's I consider him one of my closest homies.
Yeah, y'all are kind of like where is he? What city is Kung Fu from?
San Jose,
Jose, California. Okay, I was gonna say I see him a lot with the Southern Conference of kind of the horrorcore and underground rap world. I see him hanging around with a lot of the Southern Conference, kind of you guys. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Right.
I didn't know at first where he'd be from. I know Double Dragon, like that shit is amazing. Like I think y'all did phenomenal on that album.
Thank you. I agree. There's a new Double Dragon album coming out this year.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I did not know that. To tell you the truth.
I believe around Halloween time.
2024, man. 2024 is
Yeah.
the year.
Dude. So we got UGA, we got Double Dragon, we got. I mean, what other Buckshot projects can we look forward to in the near recent future?
Well, I don't know if you all saw inside of
Warlock.
what project was that? There's a new group that I've put together that we're working close in hand. But the group Warlock.
Yep, Warlock.
Yeah, you shouted them
That-
out a lot on the pit.
That the Warlock project is Boondocks, Kung Fu Vampire, and Shy 361.
Hell yeah.
Warlock with a Q, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Warlock with a Q.
So that's
And,
that's been teased since at least the Horde, right?
Yeah, that's where it wasn't Cabal. It was the whole.
There was a
I
Horde.
got so much shit.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
I teased that. Maybe it was the Horde that I had teased, but I had, we had announced Warlock and who it was. But yeah, Warlock is gonna be really dope. I mean, look at the artist who's on it.
Yeah, Church.
I mean,
So
I don't know
much
how
about-
many. I don't know how many of you all are familiar with Shy 361.
I'm not.
Dude, that dude is fucking sick.
A monster.
Where's he from?
Well, I don't know if you remember from like back in the old school days of like the Gathering. He was Shy One.
Shy. I do know Shy One. Okay.
He's Shy One.
I got you. Okay.
He took like a hiatus and he came back. He's Shy 361, and
that
he's
quick.
actually on the Posse track called 13 on Night of the Zombie.
Yeah.
And he is also on the Horde album on what's the song? Heartless. I can't think of the title of it.
I know,
But yeah, he's on that. Well, basically, Warlock. And he's on Helter Skelter: The Accomplices Part 2 as a Warlock. That was the first official Warlock feature. It was Buckshot featuring Warlock, which it's Kung Fu, Boondocks, and Shy. And like, you should just hear how Shy One. I mean, he reminds me of like Lord Infamous from 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah, when you said Shy One, I was like, okay, I got it, because I was thinking like CHI, like Chicago.
no, it's SHY.
Yeah, yeah.
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 He's actually performing at Camp Zool this year.
Oh.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So you'll
Dude, that dude is a hella performer, man. Like, dude, he is like, I feel like he's one of the most slept on people in the underground, period.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody
that
check
dude-
that out.
That
Everybody
dude
check
is
that out.
fucking
Buck
sick.
just said that.
Yeah, I'm
that
glad
he's the most
you
slept on. So check him out.
I was gonna say I'm glad you cleared that. Like, I'm glad you said Shy One, because like, yeah, it clicked then. I knew I know him from back then, but I haven't heard him since then. So I'm really stoked to hear him at Camp Zool and hear how he's evolved.
He doesn't sound like anybody in our. I mean, he is on his own island, man.
dope.
Yeah,
That
for
dude
sure.
is dope.
So-
Yeah.
Is Warlock going to be something that it's just a mob style project? Then you'll be releasing it through your label.
Correct.
Is
Yep.
is it? Are we going? Should we expect something as like big as this? Something as interesting? You know, when we do get the Warlock album.
Just you'll see.
You don't let us down very often.
There's something way bigger at play here that I can't talk about that is going to blow people's minds, and I'm being serious. Like, there's something way bigger going on right
I'm
here.
telling you, man. I'm feeling it
Hold
right
on
now,
to your
man.
coins,
Dude,
everyone. Hold on to your coins.
I am feeling it right now. He's Warlock is about to be the shit.
There's a
check it out.
couple people. There's a couple people that I've seen comments that I could tell they've picked up on what's going on. That they don't have all the pieces, but they understand the connection. They understand kind of what's at play, and it's literally going to blow people's minds. It's way bigger than it. It's going to be a very big deal when it happens.
And we
Very
know
big deal.
we know you're referencing DC Fago guy when you're talking about someone who has it all figured out. We know that because he's the king.
Dude, I'm excited, man. Like, I love. I mean, I hope you keep doing stuff in this like Cabal universe. I think that's like you're onto something really dope. Like it's definitely got me like super interested. I mean, I've scoured the lyrics from the pit. Like, I'm sure you have like all kinds of little Easter eggs and stuff like that that will come to light once we do get these projects. So, man, I can't wait. I'm in it for the long game, man.
Yeah, I was just saying
Well,
nobody.
I owe all this to the fans, because if it wasn't for the fans supporting it, we couldn't do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a lot of money to do this the right way, and for me, it's never ever been about the money. Ever. It's about the passion and the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been about that for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't tell you, like when we did like pre-order, like I've done pre-order packages that the pre-order was already like out. It was already like, you know, something was already selling for pre-order. And then I would add another item to it, and then add another item. People have already paid for it. So if I was trying to get money, if it was just about money, I wouldn't add anything to it. Like, you've already paid for this. I'm not getting any extra money, because now I'm spending more money. You've already paid for this, but I'm spending more money, you know, to give you all something dope. And I mean, like example, there's certain things I can't talk about. I don't know if anybody out there has, well, I'm trying to think how to say this, because there's certain things. Okay, this is the best way I can say it. There is a secret version. There is a secret version of the Underground Avengers album that only a certain group of people can get their hands on. And it's not on the website. You just either you know or you don't. Like, there's some of it because there's rules that I can't talk about. But there is actually a secret group of people who can acquire certain things that regular people can't acquire. And there is actually a double disc version of Oblivion. And the people who can acquire this album, they still don't even know it unless they're watching this right now. But originally, it wasn't going to be a double disc. The people who know about this other version, they knew there was going to be another version, but they didn't know it was going to be a double disc. I ended up adding an extra track or two, and it had to be a double disc. And like, do you know how much more money that costs just to make it a double disc? But I'm not getting anything extra for it. I just want to do something fucking cool for you all.
Dude, hey, it's very much appreciated, man. I've been saying for a while, like, I mean, having these kind of special edition collector's item versions of your albums, like, that's the fucking way to sell an album, dude. Like, I mean,
It's a nostalgic miss.
we're
too.
80s babies.
Dude, no,
so-
like
You know?
BTS and Korean bands have been releasing these dope ass packaging with albums and photo books and extra shit. Like that's how they fucking do it
People
now.
wanna
man.
buy that
especially it's
shit.
juggalos, and not only juggalos,
Not
but
just,
in the
just
underground.
not just old collectors. Like young people want that shit too.
It's
They
cool.
they think it's cool.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
well,
dope to
that's
have
why
something
I
physical.
do the collector shit, because I'm a collector at heart. Like, dude, in my rap collection, I've got 7,000. Hold on.
You got a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see that
Oh,
wall.
shit.
Let's see that wall, because this is about to be fucking epic. If you got a wall of fucking rap, man, I want to see this shit.
Turn on a light here.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got
yeah.
I've got 7,000 rap CDs.
God damn.
Turn on a
Damn.
He
better
could,
light
he
here.
could probably pan for like
Woo!
20 minutes
There it
and
is.
not find the end.
Right, so
Damn, look at that shit.
I'm just gonna point out
Damn,
when
But look at
Buckshot
that. That looks like
Buckshot knows hip hop.
damn, that looks like fucking CD Warehouse.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Buckshot.
Yeah, it's like
Do you have all the
obvious-
CDs left on Earth?
my camera can't catch everything, but
Yeah. That's a library, man.
Oh,
yeah,
look
it's
at that.
fucking.
Bro's got a library. If
You
he
also
wants-
have like a crazy ass Star Wars.
if he wants
collection,
to know hip hop,
like
he can
figurines and shit.
I mean, this is all he has to do is go. Hey, I see you got everything on a slant. Do you do that on purpose?
I keep every. Hold on one second.
Looks like he keeps it a little loose so that you can pull stuff
Yeah.
out easy. They ain't there just for looks, you know what I'm saying? He probably pulls them out to listen to.
I keep everything at a slant because I keep room in every row in case I want to add a CD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I had it full and everything was, just straight,
Yeah.
I couldn't add a CD. So I keep it by keeping it at a slant. If I just kept it straight, there'd be gaps in it.
Yeah.
So I keep it slanted.
No,
So if I add a CD in, I could just spread them, put it in there, and the slant lets me know there's room in that
No,
row.
that's a true
Oh, yeah.
collector because it's the same way comic book collectors do. They have their long boxes and they keep their long boxes a little loose.
right,
way
because
they
you
can-
have to put
Yeah.
exactly.
That way they can fill up their runs. No, you got it. You know what you're doing.
I have almost 7,000. 99% of it is like rap and hip hop.
Damn.
But I'm a collector at heart. I love collecting variants,
Yeah.
and so that's why like I've seen people make the comments, and usually the people that make the comments, I don't think they believe them themselves. They're just trying to find an excuse to talk shit or hate. But like people are like, you make different variants because you're trying to make more money. I don't think people realize how much more money it costs to make more variants. I'll tell you this. I make less money from doing variants because they cost so much fucking money to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, church.
Yeah, like you
You
don't have to
know.
do that. You just do because it's cool shit.
But I will say this: you having that collection, man, you can pull inspiration out at any time and have something to go off and something to build from. You know what I mean? As
Right.
far as hip hop, you got something you can go to that wall and you can be like, let me pull this out, get some inspiration, make
Right.
something, make some music, make a
As
feeling.
as far as your style goes, because you were around before the Juggalo scene. So as far as your style goes, who's like your biggest influences?
Like you mean like outside of the Juggalo scene?
Yeah. Like your
Yeah,
biggest
I mean,
influences
I-
in rap. Like how'd you
I
get
mean,
into
you
rap?
don't have
Ice Cube.
7,000 fucking hip hop albums without having an influence outside of this genre.
Well, yeah, that's
Right.
what I was saying. Like, I love, like, we always talk about the Juggalo stories here, but I love the origin stories of hip hop. So, like, how'd you first get into rapping in general?
Yeah, my first love of like hip hop was Ice Cube, NWA, but Ice Cube was he's still to this day, he's like my favorite rapper of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's a fucking phenomenal.
I mean,
lyricist.
that's so many people's top 2, top 3, top 5, whatever. Like Ice Cube is one of the biggest of all time for sure.
What
For sure.
what new shit are you listening to? Any? Juggalo or not?
I'm trying to think of what I've been listening to because I spend so much time listening to my own shit because I'm always writing or listening to mixes.
Yeah, working.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. So instead of just saying some bullshit. I'm trying to think of what I've been listening to.
It actually takes a little bit because when you're listening to your own shit, man, you have to actually step outside of that to listen to something just for
I've caught
fun.
myself. I've been listening to some Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, he's just shit.
I've been listening to Eminem. Um,
Eminem's always something to go back to just for inspiration.
Always great.
Flow,
I
cadences.
honestly, I'm not a Drake fan at all. I have respect for what he does, but like I did follow that whole Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Oh
that was
fuck yeah,
interesting.
dude. Yeah,
That
we
was
talked
cool.
about it.
Yeah.
Kendrick spanked him, as far as I'm concerned.
I think all hip
I love
hop
a good
fans
battle, and I
followed
think
that.
Kendrick spanked
Yeah,
him.
I've never listened to a whole Drake song in my life. I'm not like a fan. Like I respect what he does, and like he's obviously great at what he does. It's not my cup of tea, but hearing those diss songs were like the first Drake songs I've ever like listened to in my life. I mean, the dude can spit. I personally do think Kendrick got him, but
Same.
like Drake wasn't a pushover in the thing at all.
No,
And I'm
he
not
pulled
even
his
a
own.
Drake fan, but like, Drake, listening to all that gave me a different respect for both of those guys, really.
Same,
Church.
same, 100%.
I did have a question, just as a fan, right? Just as a fan, not as an artist.
Right.
We all got the news that ICP was working with Mikey Clark for this next Joker's card. What do you think about that? I mean, just as a fan,
Yeah, good for
sound.
them. That's got to make any fan of ICP or any Juggalo fucking excited.
Excited, yes, exactly. We're all excited about that. We want to hear something that, doesn't have to be the old school, but just something that kind of, gels like how the Mikey Clark and ICP used to do,
I mean, like, honestly, I know like a lot of people give shit to the new Joker cards. I've liked all of them.
Yeah.
I personally thought Lost. I mean, I thought Found. I liked Found better than Lost. Most
Found
people
is my
say
favorite of the
that.
second
we
deck.
love Found around here, dude.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Found.
I thought
we
Found.
love
I like
was
everything.
the
I wasn't a
shit.
fan of Fearless Fred.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Neither was I.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, after Found, they lost me.
Yeah. Found was
Ironically,
an exceptional. Yeah, Found was an exceptional album.
Yeah, Found was good.
I like
man.
I like
Found.
positive ICP, man. I like ICP shine.
I think all of us old school juggalos that are in our late 30s, 40s now, we want to hear positive shit from ICP, and that's why Found is such a big, it hit for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm usually more of a fan of darker shit, so I would have assumed like Lost would have been the one.
Yeah.
But like I said, after hearing, Found, like I listened to Found 10 times more than I did Lost.
They trick
Oh,
you,
yeah.
and that's the
But
thing.
my favorite ICP album of all time has always been Amazing Jekyll Brothers, and I've been there since Ringmaster. I mean,
Yeah.
I went back and got Carnival of Carnage, and I've got a place in my heart for it. But Carnival of Carnage, for me personally, is not. I wouldn't put that in my top 10 ICP
No,
albums.
I'm
Same,
100%.
same.
Yeah. I don't ever go back and listen to it other than.
But
Rebel
Amazing Jekyll Brothers was the like that was the. I liked ICP a lot, but Amazing Jekyll Brothers is what made me love ICP.
No, that's
Absolutely.
that
It was just
solidified
25.
it solidified a capsule, a time capsule in that era that was able to go on, that was able to be timeless.
For sure.
And,
I mean, I thought
no.
Great, a lot of people say Riddlebox and Great Malenko, and I think those are like fucking dope.
Great
But,
ICP albums for sure.
But for me, man, like Amazing Jekyll Brothers, to me, is top tier ICP.
well, what
I
I
agree.
think you're coming from is Jekyll Brother or Riddlebox and Malenko are great ICP albums that are stand the test of time. But Jekyll Brothers is something that stands the test of time in pop culture.
Yes.
It's like it
Yeah,
was
I see that.
in that era of music. It fits so well.
New metal shit popping off.
And it just expanded it so great for and the kids and the people that were into it at that time.
Dude, like there's
Yeah.
something, there was always something when I heard just the music for Fuck the World.
Yeah.
Like bro, like that song makes me want to like fight my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck the world was like, that was my shit. I mean, I like the whole fucking album.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I could literally press play front to back. Man, I had every single variant version of like Jekyll Brothers was my shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I could
we
play
are-
Pass Me By every day until I die.
Yeah, we are at the 25th.
Huh?
We are at the 25th
Yeah.
anniversary, so people are talking about that.
Oh, that is
That's a
on.
big one. Echo Side, yeah. But yeah, on that album, they were able to go back, Assassins, bring stuff back to like that
but
really
you gotta think,
influenced them and shit.
Assassins for me hit different, because I'm a huge Ghetto Boys fan, and like you know that's literally a remake of Assassins from the Ghetto Boys.
Of course.
Yeah,
And
but like, so when I heard that version of it, like, I just loved Ghetto Boys, and I was like, man, that's the shit. Like, they remade one of my favorite Ghetto Boys songs.
Yeah.
No, the storytelling on that album, the dues they paid, and going back, redoing the Assassins, letting people know like this is where we came from, the storytelling, the jokes, the skits on that is almost like cinematic,
Yeah.
It's a cinematic
What,
level
my
of
couch?
So one of the best produced albums of that era, late 90s.
Agreed, man.
Is by far Jekyll Brothers. No, I totally
Nothing
agree
ever
with you.
for me. Nothing ever touched that album.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was like my all-time favorite Psychopathic Records release, hands down.
And I don't disagree with you at all, man. That is one of as far as like production and story. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people will, I mean, you can't help how you feel. You know, you feel the way you feel. My second favorite Psychopathic Records release of all time is Abominations.
That album
And-
rules.
Abominations is dope.
I
as shit.
love
Yes.
Abominations, and I know a lot of Twisted fans, like, they like it, but like, I don't know, for me it hit a certain way.
Well,
like,
when
I
we-
love Green Book, I love all Twisted shit, but for me it was Abominations that just, I don't know if it was my love for Seven, but just there was something that resonated with me with that whole album, man.
No, I think your Cabal projects and stuff like that, and what you've been working on is rivaling that. You've gotten that kind of bug from that. And when we started this channel, people said that, they told us like Abominations. You guys need to listen to that. You guys need to review that.
And we did, and they were right. It
Yes,
rules.
Abominations, and I was out of the game when Abominations came out, so I didn't know much
Right.
about it. But when I went and listened to it, I was like, "Holy shit! Yeah, this album is amazing."
Church.
Yes,
You know what's
absolutely.
wild? A lot of people, I don't think they realize how much knowledge and how much, like, I've been part of like Juggalo culture for a long time, and I've been a fan of it, and like, and I know they only say this because the divide, but you would be surprised at how many comments that I've read where people say, Buckshot's a culture vulture, and like, he doesn't really have love for us, and it's like, do you all realize the reason why I'm part of this culture is because Psychopathic booked me for gatherings? Like, Twisted has asked me to be on their albums. Like, it's not like I've like bought onto. I'll tell you right now, anybody can challenge me on this. I have never paid to be on a show in my life.
Church.
I've never paid an artist to be on an album. Like, if I'm on a show, it's because somebody booked me and paid me to be on a show.
Yeah, that's a pay to play,
church.
man. Yeah, people pay to
And
play,
I'm
but
not
yeah,
knocking,
you ain't doing that.
I'm not knocking pay to play. I'm not knocking anybody who has done it. I'm just saying I have never paid to play once. But like, whether you like me or not, I'm part of the Juggalo culture because the godfathers of this culture invited me to be a part of it.
Yeah.
They saw the talent. You know what?
Church.
So where exactly are you from?
Louisville.
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
My mom's side of the family's from Kentucky, and they were all musically inclined. And that, and I thought it was stupid growing up. I was like, yeah, fuck that, whatever. But I come to understood how musically inclined they really were. People from Kentucky, motherfucker, y'all don't know like they understand music beyond most people in this country.
Right.
And Kentucky, you know, people from Kentucky just get it, and they understand music, and I think that's where you come from, man. If you're from Kentucky, you get it. You get the music. You understand the fucking.
It's in your soul. It's in
Yeah,
your bones.
it's in the soul, man.
I've got a question that's been bugging me. Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you spell your name Bukshot? Is it because nobody can see you?
I've actually never well, I mean, like the reason why I've spelled it that way, just like honestly, like I just wanted it to be different.
Hell yeah.
You know, like there's not like a reason why there's not a C in it.
It's more to be hit.
I like the way it looked like on paper. To me, it looked aesthetically pleasing to the eye. It looked cooler than just spelling it the normal way.
Get that
Hell yeah.
bullshit out of there.
And you know, so that you know that's not like a big, you know, there's not like a big thing to it or nothing. I just thought it looked cooler.
All right, I'm still going to tell myself it's because nobody can see you.
He just wanted to make his joke, dude.
I just making my lame ass jokes.
I do have a, you know, I don't want to keep it too long, but I did have one other question I had was.
I'm good on time. If you
Okay.
all are good, I'm just,
Hey, man,
you know,
we're having.
I'm not itching to get off here. I told you all in the beginning, I'm here for the duration. So.
I love that, man. We're having a great time hanging with you, so I appreciate that. I did want to ask, like, maybe you'll divulge. I mean, because he's an honorary member of the Underground Avengers, are we going to see Jelly on the new album? Is there a possibility?
No,
I was gonna say Jelly is so.
Come on, man.
'cause
That's his
people keep-
homeboy.
I know, but
no.
look, you got to think
that's
that
my
dude is
homeboy,
on.
but like he's on a different plane right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Come
he's-
on, man. You got to bring him back, though. Bring
Jelly
him back.
Roll is like top 10 artists in the world.
If
in
anybody-
the world.
if anybody can bring him
Literally,
in, come
he's
on.
like arguably he is literally in the top. I mean, he's up there with
Taylor Swift, and,
and
yeah.
The Weeknd, and like, you know, like he's literally in the top 10 of the biggest artists in the world, and like.
But
It's
he's
Yeah,
just like
I
when
mean-
they say
But
Jelly
he's a
Roll. It's just
Juggalo. He's ours. He's
right.
our guy.
Well, it's just like when they say that with Post Malone. I'm sure that if you asked Jelly Roll or Post Malone straight up, they would be like, "Yeah, I'd be down for that." But they have whole crews of people they're working with and for,
bro.
and those people would be like, "Abso-fucking-lutely
Jelly can hop in the
not."
studio and drop a hot
There's
16
no
for
way.
Buckshot.
And that's if you even had the way a means of getting in contact with him. They're on levels where like
All right,
you
let
have
him
to have.
explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean he's just like I said, I don't think he has time to like, you know, if he's got Jimmy Kimmel on Thursday, you know, and the AMC Awards on Saturday, I don't think he has time to go into the studio on Friday to do an Underground Avenger feature.
Man,
you know
that's
what
some
I'm
bullshit.
saying?
Fuck that,
Exactly.
man. No, come on, man.
But you got to think, I've known Jelly before, like we were like intertwined in the Juggalo world too. I've known Jelly for, I mean, I can't tell you how many shows that me and Jelly like co-headlined together, and there was like 100 people in the crowd.
Yeah, here in Columbus, we were the first city that he sold out besides his hometown.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, Jelly
Yeah.
Roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
well,
Je-
I right about
I
that. He
remember
was
when
huge
Jelly
here.
was getting like huge in Columbus.
Yeah, he was huge
before
here.
he like blew up, but like
That was when
but,
I
like,
was
I
out
mean-
of the Juggalo world and into hip hop. But
right. But yeah, like Jelly and I, we've done shows like there was 50, 60 people in the crowd, and you know, I mean, just it's awesome to, you know, I've known Jelly since I met Jelly in Nashville, and when I met him, I was actually in a Suburban that was vehicle wrapped with my album cover,
yeah,
and we were driving to a Haystack show, and I drove by Jelly. I didn't know who Jelly was. He was, you know, he was like nobody at this time, but I heard him yell "Buckshot," and we stopped, and. You know, I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Bro," he was like, "Dude, you're a fucking legend." He was like, "That's awesome. You're in Nashville." And I was like, you know, I was like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "Oh, we're going to the Haystack show." And I was like, "Bro, that's like a 10-minute drive from here." I'm like, "You're walking?" He's like, "Yeah, we don't have a car." And I was like, "Well, bro," I was like, "I'm going to the Haystack show," because Haystack was my homie.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Bro, you know, get in with us. We'll give you a ride." And, you know, I just offered him and his homie a ride to the show, and just him and I have just been cool, ever since. And it's just wild, like to think how big he is.
Yeah.
Like I showed him like a gram of respect. He was like nobody. And I gave him a ride to a concert that he was walking to. And like, he's like repaid me with like kindness and loyalty ever since.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
That's-
me and Jelly are just, that's my dude, man.
That's like such a crazy thought, though. Too, even though I know, like, we're not Clout Center, but still, that's a crazy thought to think that like you were a major cog in the story of Jelly Roll, who is now like in the top 10 artists in the world.
yeah.
He called you a legend.
What
You
is
were
that,
like he called you a legend. You were a major cog
That's
in
so
his
cool,
story.
man.
You beat
Well, what's really crazy is like, Jelly has never charged me for anything, like a feature video, like he's never taken money from me. And you know the song that we have with Crucifix and Demi, Cannonball. We have a video for it. And Jelly drove here from Nashville to shoot the video. And after we were done filming, I said, come here. And I want to say it was $2,500, but I had a knot of money. And I said, I just, what was I said? I just said, here. He's like, what's this? And I was like, bro, I was like, I know you're not charging me for this, but I just want you to know I appreciate your time and what you've done. And he gave me the most serious look in the world. And he said, Buckshot, he said, I love you. He said, but if you ever offer me money for anything I do for you ever again, you will have personally insulted me.
Yeah.
And I said, understood. And I put it in my pocket. He said, you've never paid me for anything and you never will. He said, you're not going to start now. He's like, I do this shit for you because I love you, not because I'm thinking it's going to make me a payday. And like,
Yeah.
so much respect, because I don't know too many people, if they had $2,500 in cash waved in their face, I don't know too many people that would basically say,
Yeah,
the
especially
same
when
thing,
you're
so-
when you're on the underground circuit, like every dollar counts. in
Oh
that
yeah,
game,
I'm
you
sure.
know?
I mean,
I'm sure that
you're
would have
paying your
helped him.
bills. Yeah.
Something else too, it just made me think of, which we've never done a song together because it was just out of inconvenience, but Prozac, me and Prozac are real good homies.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say real good homies. We're homies,
Sure.
Yeah.
And one time I was hitting him up because I wanted him to be on Helter Skelter Accomplices too. And we had talked for a while on the phone, and I just was like, hey man, can you get on this? I was like, I'll shoot you something. I don't want you to have to like, come out of your pocket and do it for free. And he said, Buck, he's like, bro, you don't have to pay me for a feature. He said, you're one of us.
Hell
He said, I'll do a feature for you in a heartbeat, but he lives in Saginaw. And he's like, there's no real recording studios here. He was like, my problem is getting to Detroit to record you something that's quality. And he was like, my issue is time. I just don't have time. But I just always thought that was so cool the way he said that. He just said, you're one of us. I'm not going
Yeah.
to charge you. I'm not going to take
Yeah.
a dollar from you. It's cool that just there's people out there that, is not money motivated.
Yeah, they're truly in it for the culture and the passion of the art.
Oh, we love that around here, man.
Another cool story. I don't think I've ever told this before. Q Strange. He
He's
was
a
on
monster.
the posse track for on Dark Matter on God Particle.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first talked to him, I told him I'd throw him something, for doing it. And he just never, said a word about it. And I remember I was driving down the road and I got an email, and, it was his name. It didn't say Q Strange, it was his real name. And I was like, what is this? And I opened it and I was like, oh, wow, he sent me the files. Like, it had taken so long. I didn't think he was going to do it.
Yeah, right.
And I called him up immediately. I was like, bro, I like it. I didn't think you were going to be able to do it, because like he was supposed to do it like 2 or 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
And he was just like, my bad, Buck. He was like, I was trying to get some piece for my studio. He's down in Florida.
Yeah.
And, but he was like, I sent it to you. I hope you like it. I was like, I haven't even listened to it yet. I said, I just got the email. And I was just like, bro, like, what's your PayPal? I want to send you something. And he was like, nah, man. He was like, dude, I did that out of love and respect for what you do to this underground scene.
Hell
He's like,
yeah.
I don't want any money from you. And it just to me goes hand in hand with this story. It's like, it's just really respectable, like people turning down money,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
uh, for the same reason, the same way I look at stuff. I mean, when I have artists that I respect, I mean, I've had plenty of artists who've tried to give me money too, and I don't, I won't take it,
Yeah, I
just
feel
out
you.
of respect.
No,
It's just,
That's respectable.
you know,
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
there's a difference in working with someone I think you respect. When you respect somebody, you're going to want to work really for free because it's like, I respect you, I want to do this project, versus just a stranger hitting you up, hey, will you be on this project?
But
I think
listen, I want to put a disclaimer out though. Every jobber ass juggalo rapper out there listening to this, don't go hitting up Buckshot for free features now.
yeah, right. Exactly. Well, that's what I was trying.
Right.
That was the distinction I was trying to make. Exactly. I was saying, like,
Right.
you're going to do free stuff for somebody you respect,
Yes.
but if someone that you have no connection to is hitting you up to do a feature on the song, don't get shocked if you hit up an artist that you respect in the underground and they tell you that they want money.
Yeah, man.
They don't
Expect
know
them.
you for shit,
I
and
think
this is a business.
I think a lot of this underground is it's a kinship, You meet
Yeah.
somebody on the road.
But you got to earn those stripes. I
You
think
earn
for-
it. You
yeah,
meet somebody
can't
on the
just-
road and you earn it. You talk to them, and I think it's regional too, man. You got people like you from Kentucky, from the South. You got people from where we're from, Midwest, Ohio and stuff, and you got people from the North. There's different mentalities for these kind of artists.
Yeah, well, something I want to
Right.
ask you: do you encounter that a lot, where people will ask you for a feature and then get like real irritable or get an attitude with you when you turn them down or give a price?
well, there are filters. I mean, I've got a booking guy.
Yeah.
I've got a booking guy that books my features now. My guy Luther, and anytime somebody hits me, I always try my best to respond back when people message me on Facebook or Instagram, and if it's somebody that I don't know who they are at all, depending on my schedule, I try to hit everybody back, but I usually pass them on to Luther, and
Hell
he
yeah.
kind of filters everything because a lot of people are window shopping.
You're right.
I mean, there's this one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he literally hits me up like clockwork, like once a year.
Yeah, right.
And, it started out the first few times, like I quoted him a price and I'll get back to you. And then I'd hear from him a year later. And, he'd ask me the same question. I'd be like, hey, if you just scroll up 2 paragraphs,
Right. There's all the info.
information's right there. Then a year later, and then finally it's like, all right, man, this is Luther's email. And the funny thing
But
is,
you got to
like,
add
they won't-
inflation each year.
They won't even email Luther. It's like, I
Yeah.
gave you the keys
Yeah.
and you won't even use them. So
Yeah.
You hear that one man crew? Email Luther.
One man crew. Good Lord.
kidding.
Please don't ever do a
Just
song
kidding.
like that.
and remember, 3 years later, it's not going to be as cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got to adjust for inflation, Buck. Don't sell yourself short.
right.
That's what's up. Let's see. I did want to ask. You do the amount of like groups. Do you know how many groups you're in?
I mean,
Off top.
I could name all of them. I've never counted
Okay,
them, but
okay.
I mean, like UGA, Cabal,
Yeah.
Berserkers, Double Dragon, the Horde,
Yes.
Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
So
Love it. I love
All
it.
right,
six.
It's
so,
cool, dude.
So he's over 2 hands full. I mean,
Right.
or he's over a full hand.
Yeah. There you go. Well, that's work.
Well, I mean, it's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. I love that you're cranking out cool projects, and like what I like is like some of these projects will have like throwback stuff, like nostalgia stuff, like you did the Transformers album with Boone.
Paradigm Shift.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're doing interesting shit. It's not like you're just putting shit out because like you're bored, like you're like I got this idea.
Yeah, you're not doing like the Ouija Mac thing, and I'm sorry.
keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
That's
Keeping it real.
essentially what I'm saying. Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
things I've been noticing is a lot of these projects that he's doing that I from my perception is because of these connections you've made with these people. Along the road.
I don't need any artists like like once again, I go to like, I see like the negative comments, like, oh, he just does these group projects because, he can't sell records by himself. I mean, dude, if you go look at like Helter Skelter projects, like not like the accomplices, but like the regular project, there was nobody rapping. Like there's no features. I mean, never safe, no features. Like, I can do it's actually easier to do solo projects with no features because dealing with a lot of features is a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah, you're having to
Because there's a lot of people that have very different work ethics than I have.
right.
Like that there's times a feature people hold up a whole album, and
Yeah.
it's part of it. I've understand to live, to live with it. It's just part of it. But it like I said, it's easier to do solo shit, and it's cheaper because most of the people that I record with don't record on microphones. I'm not going to say names, but there's some pretty big artists that you would be surprised the quality of how they record,
Oh,
and it costs more money to have it get mixed. And I hear my mix guy, he does it laughingly, but like, damn, where did they record this shit? And he's
yeah.
good at making it sound good.
And we're
but,
talking, and you're
like,
talking about like somebody who's pretty popular in the scene.
Yeah,
These are not
yeah,
up and
like
comers.
people who are on pretty big labels
Yeah.
that just,
Jeez.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's just like,
People don't understand. You get these newer rappers that want to come out with something, and they just record, and they don't understand the mixing that goes into it. Your raw
Right.
recording is horrible. Your raw
I
recording is trash, bro.
I
You have
recorded
to
this with
mix
my
it.
phone.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, like for me right now, the standard until this new Underground Avenger album, but like that Cabal, the Pit,
Yeah.
the quality.
Oh man.
I
it's
remember after it was done, I was listening to that amazed at how awesome it sounded.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I got on PayPal, and I want to say like I sent Rob like $300.
Dude, I
And he
Oh,
hit
that's
me
bonus.
up. He was like, dude, you just sent me money. He's like, what's this for? Are we doing something new? And I just said, no, man. I said, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate what you did to this Cabal album. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, this was special. Like, dude, the quality, like, even if you don't like how me or Low Key or Mr. Gray rap, it's worth listening to that album just to appreciate the quality, man.
I
Just
agree.
No,
like,
It's a
that's how I
headphone album.
was when I heard that shit. I was like, I can't believe the quality on this, because I've heard a shit ton of underground stuff, and the quality varies, but
Yeah.
I was
it's,
like, this is on another level quality. So yeah, no, I
Wraith
totally agree with
Shangri-La.
you. Yeah.
It doesn't get better, like that's as good as it gets, honestly.
But like, but this UGA album, it rivals it as far as quality. Just
Really?
like, I mean,
Good shit.
it's just right there with it. Like Rob takes pride. Like, the way me and Rob work, he doesn't charge me hourly. He looks at the track listing, looks at the files, and gives me a price. So if he spends more time on it, that's costing him money.
Yeah.
But he has such great passion for what he does. Like his name's on it. Like he sent me like an album before it's done. I was happy with it. Didn't have nothing else to say. Like we were done. And he hit me up 2 days later and was like, hey man, you didn't send that to press yet, did you? And I'm like, no, why? He's like, there's something I heard. You probably wouldn't even know the difference, but I would just like to, I fixed it. I just want to resend this to you.
That's
Like
dope.
he cares about it.
That's
No,
great.
I
know,
get it. I get it.
That's
Yeah.
great, dude. That's so dope to have somebody like that
I
in
get
tune.
it. You got somebody that wants to fix the sibilants, or wants to get spike up the lows or something. Or
Right,
there's too
right.
many.
And
There's
he cares about what
Yeah.
his name's on. So like
Yeah,
that's
no.
like super respect to Rob, man. Rob's the shit.
Man, you got a great. You really do. You've developed a nice like fucking team behind you. Like it's. I think you're in a great spot, man. I can't,
Oh, for sure. I couldn't do it without my team. I mean, I definitely, I'm very blessed to be, the homies that I've got in my corner and who works with me. And like, yeah, I'll tell you something wild. I'll give you all a leaked feature on UGA.
yeah. All right.
he was on Anomaly 88, but Stevie Stone is
Oh wow, dope.
is on this. And what's wild was he originally like wasn't on it, and I was just talking to him on the phone, and he's like, what are you working on? I was like, this new UGA album. He's like, oh damn, you all are doing a new one, and I said, yeah, and he was like, bro, send me something.
Yeah.
And I'm not bullshitting you. Like, this is the fastest feature I've ever gotten in my life besides Jamie Madrox.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally emailed it to him, and I swear he had it sent back to me in less than 2 hours.
That's dope.
Like, most people take at least like a week or two,
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
he literally, but like,
That's
he
work
was
ethic.
just, but he was like excited to be part of it. He was just like, bro, send me something.
Yeah.
And, I sent him a track that we hadn't done a hook for yet. And I'm so glad he asked to be part of it, because the hook he did on it is awesome.
Hell
Fuck yeah. I saw in this one, like, you have for your collector, kind of your collector's edition on this one, you're doing it's like a big canvas that you're doing as well as some other stuff. How this is like what, the second of the canvases that you've done?
Second or third, they sold out.
Gotcha. Do you have any plans for those? Is that part of the secret plan? I was gonna say, I know, you have. Yeah, I figure the coins have to play into it.
The coins play into it.
Okay,
There's a lot of people who have all the coins so far, but
right,
basically the coins. I think there's 3 more coins that have to be released, but for everybody who has all the coins, there is going to be a exclusive album, a Bukshot album that everybody is going to get for free.
Oh shit.
Nice.
They just have to pay for the shipping, but you get the album free, and you can't buy the album. You have to have the coins to have the album.
So
It will be
if people haven't got coins already, you're shit out of luck. You're fucked, right?
I mean, the coins can still be acquired. Majority of them can, the majority of them. There's some real older, hard ones that are hard to get.
Yeah.
That I've seen some of the coins sell on the black market for like $50 a
Oh
piece.
shit. Okay. So yeah, if y'all want to start collecting your coins, you better get on it now.
Yeah, I was
They ain't
gonna
gonna
say,
get easier
for the
to find.
people that have all the coins, they're going to get something very, very cool and special for
That's
free.
fuck
So
yeah, man.
That's so dope. I want to ask, like, with all these, like, you often will have a release, then you'll have like a special edition, and then maybe like another side super special edition, and then you have the super secret special edition. So how do you determine what songs go on the mainline like disc versus all these like bonus tracks and stuff like that? How do you, like, I'm cutting these ones off the main album.
Do you have a
know?
guy you play the album for that's kind of your second guy that's like, no, I don't like this shit, take this off? Or do you have or is it all just your final decision process?
no, it's all a final decision process. But like sometimes, like I'll have like a really dope idea for a new song, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna record this and make this like an exclusive track for like the thing we don't talk about.
Yeah, the project.
And we always like the one that was on the Cabal. Like there's actually a unreleased Cabal track that like it was so dope. It was so dope that like a lot of people haven't heard it, but like there's a certain group of people who just they have the privilege of hearing stuff that everybody else can't hear.
That's dope,
Yeah.
man. We got how do people get in the secret club? Is there a way
I don't
to
know
get
what
in?
you're I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
see?
Fair,
Hey,
that's fair.
first rule of Fight Club, Teasy.
I did have
That's
a
right.
Sorry.
If that whatever you're talking about is even a thing, it would just have to be a personal invitation by me and only, and that's
I see.
it.
I see.
It's
That's cool,
just one
man.
of them things, man.
All right.
Yeah, if that was even a thing, I would just have to assume it would have to be a personal invitation. by
You're
me.
like
Understood.
you're like laying in bed and like you hear a knock at the window and you look up, lightning flashes and a hand's like holding
It's
an
like-
invitation drops
No,
to the
it's
window.
like everybody-
No, it's literally like you're sleeping in bed and somebody knocks,
yeah.
and then it's like,
That's so dope.
So,
No, that is actually the
Like-
Steelbook
Ooh.
cover.
Oh,
Damn.
Steelbook.
Oh, dope.
That's
Yeah, I
Damn.
saw that it comes with a steelbook.
So no, the
Yeah.
steelbook is only for the people who bought the
Collector.
canvas, right?
Oh, I
canvas.
want the damn
No,
Steelbook.
no. If you get the if you get just the jersey and coin, that comes with the Steelbook
Okay.
cover. It's metal and it's embossed. It's really
That's the
dope.
bundle I
Dude,
want.
Dude, I
then.
collect Steelbook like DVDs and shit, man, Blu-rays and whatnot, man.
Yeah,
I
that
want
is
it.
sweet.
And Steelbook fucking CDs. I've been wanting those for so long.
That's dope,
Yeah.
bro.
And see what I did, what I wanted to do different. There were so many pre-order items. There was 2 different charms. There was hats, T-shirts, USBs, all this stuff. Instead of forcing people to buy all that shit, we just had just the regular. It was the gold gauntlet version, which was just the jersey, the coin, and the steelbook cover. And I think that's $150. And then there's a version where you could get just the jersey and the CD for I think $100. And then all the other items, I had it built to where you could build your own bundle.
Okay.
So like you're not forced, somebody doesn't give a fuck about a jersey, they can buy everything else. Or if they don't care about, if they just want the charm and the CD, I had it, instead of being locked in and forced to buy shit you didn't want, I had it set to where you could pretty much buy everything separately.
That's what's up. Yeah, because some of us, I mean, like I've been getting back into CDs, but I haven't been collecting really much else. So like, give me a fucking CD all day, man. Give me the tightest version of the CD you got. That's the one I want.
Right.
But yeah, that's dope, man. I've wondered that because, I mean, I see all these dope different versions. I'm like, man, like. I don't know how you decide, like, okay, I'm only gonna put 10 tracks, and then like that one.
I was just saying, like, to
but
get the
that makes
2-disc
sense.
CD, you have to get one of the collector's editions, right?
For
the 2-disc version.
There was a special. Okay, there's the regular version, then there's the regular version with the steelbook cover. So there's no extra songs between them, just for like collectors, people who want something extra dope. If you want to spend the extra money to get the steelbook cover, it's just a bonus, but you still get all the music. So,
Okay.
if somebody just said, all I have is $20, they're not going to miss out on anything.
That's what's up.
Got you.
And then, but like there was a special version, a double disc version that came with the canvases, all completely different art. But it was a double disc, and there were only 20 of those made. All the artwork's completely different. And the second disc has all the skits and storylines that I was telling you is on the USB. So for the hardcore collectors, you're just getting that as a bonus disc. But for somebody who missed out, they're not missing out any music. Technically,
capiche.
you could take all that music and put it together yourself with the CDs. But that was for the hardcore collectors. It's like, if you want to spend the money on this cool canvas, we're going to give you something extra cool for the hardcore people.
Fuck
That's what's
yeah.
up.
But it's not somebody missing out on any music.
Yeah. You're
That's
not
I think
cutting anyone out.
that was a great way to do that. I think that's pretty tight. Because like
And for the people who got the USB drives, we put that same file on the USB. It's got the same skits. Is just a bonus, because there's people who don't collect CDs. They don't even have a CD player in their car. But if you got this flash drive, you could pop your flash drive in and listen to the whole album. And the flash drive is like, it's made of like rubber PVC. It's like big.
Yeah, that's
and
like
it's the new UGA logo. It just looks really cool. It's a dope. There was only 40 of them made. I think there's like 10 left. They've been selling pretty quick.
get on that shit, y'all. If you haven't got it.
Shite.
All right, man.
How just a question as far as like working wise, how for everything you have on your plate and what you do, how long are you in the studio? How many hours a day do you
What's your work week like?
do you spend in the studio or emailing or getting
I'm
all this?
I'm actually not in the studio as much as you would think. I'm very good at managing my time. And what I do is I practice and I figure out everything that I have to do. And like when I'm recording like this UGA, I would go in the studio and do like 3-hour session, 3-hour sessions each day, like 3 days a week. So like total in the studio, I was probably only in the studio for about 18 hours.
Word. Okay.
Because I already had everything written, I have everything pre-written, everything. I have a list of what I want to do. So I just get in there and just knock it out.
Fuck yeah, man.
Now, obviously, Class is in the studio and Boondocks is in the studio. So I don't have to be, in one weird way, it's easier doing group projects. It's easier because I don't have to spend as much time in the booth.
Yeah.
But I have way much more time outside the booth because I've got to take all their files and accumulate them and put them together and send them to Rob in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where he's not like baffled on like, what the fuck did you just send me?
Yeah, you got to compile all those files, stem them out. That way he knows where to put them on the beat and all that shit. Send it to him. So, but for people that are trying to get into this music, they don't. I mean, I don't think people quite understand how many hours you really do have to kind of spend compiling shit just to make it, presentable to somebody who can mix it or put it together for you.
Right.
In a presentable way.
That's true.
Yeah.
What as far as like when you go perform, do you have any cities besides your hometown that like really, really show you some love?
Columbus.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Detroit.
Hell yeah.
I get a lot. It's wild how much like Michigan is like a home away from home. It's crazy like how many orders we get out of like Detroit and Michigan. As weird as it sounds, Pennsylvania.
Fuck yeah, man. We know a lot of
yeah.
down-ass people in Pennsylvania.
You know what's wild? Streaming wise, my number one city, and it has been my number one city for like the last 6 years, is Denver.
Denver, Colorado.
Denver's number one. Minneapolis, I think, is number 2, and Chicago's number 3.
Damn. There
Wow.
you go. Hell
Like
yeah.
Louisville's in the top 20. I want to say like my hometown, I'm like 16th, but like, I've got like, I'm like really, I think I have like right around 70,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
And Denver, then Chicago's 3, Minneapolis is 2. But yeah, Denver's been my biggest streaming city for like 6 years.
That's crazy.
Shit. Shout out Denver,
I mean,
man.
big, they love the wicked shit over there. What can you say?
Right.
Do you have songs, specific songs, like in your mind? Like you have such an extensive catalog. Do you have specific songs that you're like, this was the one that should have been the hit. This was my jam. Why the fuck did everybody sleep on this song? Like, do you have songs like that?
One that you really wanted to like blow up, but nobody like gave it the
Every artist does.
buzz.
I'm sure I did. Well, one, I won't say I thought it was going to be a hit, and I know people love it, but dude, the song that I did on Helter Skelter, Accomplices 2 with House of Crazies,
Okay.
that song is stupid dope, but it's almost like I feel like people doesn't know it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that song is the shit. To my knowledge, it's the only HOK feature out there.
Oh shit.
Damn.
That's
I couldn't believe like George and they agreed to it.
to like put HOK on the like feature.
Yeah, like when I first asked George about that, George was just like, "Oh no, like like dude, like they don't do features."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, "But you know what, Buck?" He said, "I'll ask them. I know they got a lot of love for you." He was like, "But they just don't do HOK features. Like they get inquired about it a lot, and like they don't. I don't. Somebody out there can fact check me, but I don't think a HOK feature exists."
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's a dope
And
claim. Right
That
there.
is real. That is.
And George
crazy.
hit me up the next day, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "This is a wild story." he said, so Paul, Jamie, and Brian were in the studio. They were working on something. He's like, oh yeah. He was like, I know what the answer is going to be, but just out of respect, I've got to ask you all this. And they're like, what? He said, I've got an inquiry about a HOK. He said he couldn't get it out. And Paul was like, fuck no HOK. No. And he was like, hear me out. He's like, it's for Buck. And he said they were all like, oh man, it's Buck.
Yeah.
And they did it.
Hell yeah, man.
That's
Definitely.
crazy.
But like that song, it's called Hell on Halloween.
Okay.
I mean, it's gotten a lot of play, but okay, like the song Sith Lords with Twisted and Boondocks and I.
Yeah.
That song stays in my top 5 most list. Like Sith Lords to me was just a cool track.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it just like it stays constantly in my top 4 most streamed songs of all time.
Shit, I'm sure that hits like groups outside of the underground hip hop world. You know, like if you're just into fucking
maybe.
Star Wars, it's just
Right,
like, yo,
right.
I fuck with this song. You know what I mean?
But like what Sith Lords did, that's what I thought Hell on Halloween was gonna do.
Yeah,
because it's just such a dope beat. I mean, Seven, when he made it, he knew HOK was gonna be on it. He made the song to like feel like a HOK song.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tight. That knowing that, I'm gonna go back and listen to that song.
Yeah, it's like real, like, dude, the verses that Paul and Jamie and fucking and ROC spit on that. I mean, it's just like it's one of my most proud songs. It's just a great fucking song, and like I said, it's done well. But I expected it to be like a Sith Lords, where I just thought Sith Lords was just going to be a cool track, and it ended up just being huge.
Oh,
Yeah, and I forgot the Young Wicked. He does the hook on that. I forgot on Sith Lords. I forgot to shout him out. I said Twisted and Boondocks, but like you know, Otis killed that fucking hook. But yeah, that song
good
just,
on hooks.
it was a sleeper song that I wasn't expecting to do what it did, and I felt like Hell on Halloween. I mean, I've had a lot of people tell me, bro, that Hell on Halloween is fucking fire, and I'm like, I agree. I just can't believe more people aren't talking about it. I don't think it's because people hear it and don't like it. I just don't think people realize it exists.
I'll tell you my opinion.
It's the story. Sometimes people need the story behind some of these
Well,
tracks.
I mean, after people watch this, I'm sure it'll
they
hopefully
need to
people go and
understand how
listen.
some of these tracks were made and how they came to be, and the fucking
We talked about that last week with the Cryptic when we were talking about Cryptic Collection. We said like, you know, we love hearing the stories behind the songs.
we watch podcasts nowadays of these like legacy rappers from back in the 90s and 80s talking about how they came up and how they made these albums and tracks, and we're all fucking captivated by it.
Well,
but we have that going on now.
Yeah.
In our underground.
Yeah.
How some of these tracks have come to be, and people just don't know the story behind it.
Well, look, man, this is how they get out. I was gonna say the reason I think that it kind of maybe got slept on, and I can say this as somebody who's delved into your catalog after, like, on Cyber Monday, I bought your whole catalog, all right, and then I just been going through the CDs, like bumping them in the car and shit. When I went backwards though, starting with Hunting Season,
Right.
and then Helter Skelter, The Accomplices.
Right.
That was it. I'm sorry.
Right. I knew what you meant though, but yeah.
Helter Skelter 2, The
Accomplices.
Accomplices. That album stayed in my CD player for a
Oh
fucking
my god!
while,
Like
dude.
that is such a dope project. Like to me, I'm even though it's my album from a fan standpoint, like, you know, like I put that in. I think some of my best. I put that in my top 3 best releases of all time.
It's fire.
It's great, dude. Because I mean, that's what I was gonna say. I think the Hell on Halloween, as dope as the song may be, and I'll be honest, I can't picture it in my head right now, even though I bumped the fuck out of this album. But it's because every song on that album slaps, dude. I think it's just getting lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the last track on that. And bro, I'll tell you right now, Jamie Madrox does. He's a dope artist, but his verse on that is just, to me, it's top tier Jamie Madrox.
yeah.
That's why I put him first on it. Like his verse is unreal, like his bars and his flow and just, to me, that verse, if you love Jamie Madrox, you should listen to that song, because to me, as a spitter, that is a top tier Jamie Madrox, verse.
Oh, so that was like a post recording thing. Like he sent you that, you heard it, and then you decided to put him first on the song.
Yeah. You know, because
Okay.
I sent them the beat. I had already recorded my verse, and because me and Jamie each, I think all of our verses are 12 bars, and me and Jamie share the first verse. He
Yeah.
starts, and I come right after him, and then ROC on the second verse. ROC goes first, and then Monoxide goes. He ends it.
Okay.
But yeah, Jamie's verse was just everybody's verses were dope on that. I was very proud of my verse on it. But like Jamie, just like to me, Jamie stole the show on that one. I had to put him first. His verse is just top tier Jamie Madrox.
That's
Fuck
what's
yeah,
up.
man.
I'm definitely going back to peep that shit.
Oh yeah.
That album is dope though. Seriously, if you haven't,
Thank you.
if you want to get into Buckshot, that's a great one to dive into because you'll hear other familiar artists that you'll hear. You got AXE, Young Wicked, fucking everybody on that.
Yeah, but like that, I mean, like Big Hoodoo was on that.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Hell
Voodoo,
yeah.
yeah.
Dope.
Is our itinerary filled up from here on out, or do we have selection
Up to Camp Zool?
What do you mean?
from here to Camp Zool?
All of like for albums?
Yeah.
No, we're picking whatever, man.
Yeah, we need to go in there.
Yeah, man,
and
that's-
take some shit.
Hey, that song Zool did on there, the fucking the horns.
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
that was a fucking banger too, man.
That's what I
Yeah.
like. What I like
Hit the
about
Horns is kind of a Zooligan anthem too.
I wanted to give you props on this because while I'm listening to that album, I'm imagining like how you probably put this album together, and I'm imagining like you putting the songs together with the people in mind because like
Yes.
I mean Horns was obviously like written for Zool, you know,
Yeah,
like
has
there
that
was
style.
nothing random. Literally,
Yeah.
like any decision I make, it's never random. I play chess with everything.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
Like if I'm going out to dinner, I'll think, what do I want to drink? Okay, I want this to drink. What would sound good with what I'm drinking? Okay, then I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
Like I just don't randomly, you know, it's just the way my mind works. Everything is like a thought out process.
I only drink Mountain Dew, so it's always an easy decision for me.
Right.
Well, it's great because like it's obvious even like your verses on those songs with these features, like your whole verse is almost like you're putting them on your whole verse is just about like putting them on, like you're like big upping Zool the whole time on your verse and stuff. It's like it's just you do that several times on that particular album, at least I can say, for example.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I love it.
it's just like a ode. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, you're fucking with me. I'm letting, you know, it's a cosign, just like I really fuck with these guys.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
I
for
love
sure.
that, man. It's great. Like it's one of the things I'm listening to that album. I love. Like I'm like, yeah, that's what I love about Buckshot.
Underground unity.
Dare
Yeah.
I? Dare I?
Like bro, the song on there with Blaze and ABK, dude, like that ABK verse was dope.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my favorite tracks on there too. That's the first song that I've ever done with Blaze. That's actually the first and only track I've did with ABK. But like that was just a really dope song.
ABK and Blaze, when they get in their pocket, are fucking nasty.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh
Like, when they get
yeah,
in their pocket.
yeah.
Like, you really got to
But
get
like
them in
I
their
said,
pocket.
I'm a fan of this shit, and I listen to this like a fan. Like
Right.
you know, I'm like sometimes amazed at like what I turn out because you know, just I don't know that album is like a fucking to me that is one of the best projects I feel like I've ever put together.
Yeah, it's
No, I
you
feel
know.
you. Sometimes you listen to your own shit and you're like, what the fuck?
But what I was
Yeah.
gonna say, dare I say, like in this community, this underground community, without people like Buck, do we have the underground the way we have it now? You know what I mean? We need.
Yeah, I mean, I think
like do we? Is it fruitful the way it is without people like the Buck out there?
I think you've got some good labels like LSP,
know,
LLE,
yeah,
Mob
but
Style
who? But
that are really running the
who is a link in there connecting things?
It's very few people.
I think
and
that a
bringing
lo-
things together the
Yeah.
way, getting these artists to work on things the way that he's been able to do. You know, I don't see it happen. I know how artists are, man. Artists are you know, a lot of times
But how
they're
many-
very, you know, they're standoffish. They're in their own
Yeah.
thing. They're in their own world.
Well, how many artists will listen to like? There's probably artists out there that maybe don't know about or fuck with Buck. Listen to an album like Helter Skelter, Accomplices 2, because like their homie or somebody they know is on it. And then they're like, oh shit, this guy.
Do we even have you know, an Eminem and Psychopathic the way they're working now without people like Buck in this community? It could have fucking completely fizzled out to like violence.
I feel like the whole
we have people in here connecting this shit and bringing it back to a stable foundation, you know,
Yeah,
like
man.
My
keep
take-
it to the music.
Yeah, my take, and correct me
You
if
know?
I'm wrong, is that everybody in the underground is pretty much working together and is united. I think there's just a few bad seeds who are putting wedges in, and
That's
too
it.
much. Yeah, people are
That's
looking
it.
at
I
the
mean,
bad seeds.
You know, I'm not going to go into that, but I mean, everybody knows what's up.
Yeah,
I don't-
exactly. It's no.
I'm not
secret.
going to sit here and act like I don't know what's wrong with the formula. Everybody knows what's wrong with the fucking formula.
Exactly, man.
And off camera, I could have a conversation about this, and I could give you the actual fucking chemistry.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I'm not going to do that in here
I respect
because
that. Yeah.
I don't want to cause a bunch of fucking controversy and fucking shit. But like anybody who's paying any kind of attention knows what and who the problem is.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Because you see
I just-
unity.
it doesn't
you see
affect my
everybody's.
day to day. It
Yeah.
doesn't affect my shit and what I do. So I'm not going to dwell on it. But everybody knows what and who and why. And
Yeah, you just got to
it's
open
not a
your
secret.
eyes. If you just look at the underground, you'll notice everybody's working together except for a few certain people. And I mean, you can make your own assumptions from that.
I just think
That's
there's an invisible force that artists are doing right now in the underground that's keeping it glued together in a way that like wouldn't be happening without that, you know, without that element. And I think Buck's a part of that, and other people are part of that. But you know, there's definitely some things going on. But I got to give props to that, man.
There's people out here who appreciate it.
yeah, I've got to give
Genuinely.
props to that.
Genuinely,
Just
man.
being able to fucking
I appreciate that.
Yeah, just bring it back
That's
to that.
always been my thing at bringing everybody together. Like I said, I don't have any beef with anybody, man.
Yeah.
You know, like even like the psychopathic thing, I've got a lot of love and respect for what they've done for me in the past, and like, you know, like them not wanting to work with me. You know, I mean, I would go to gatherings, but they've made it clear I'm not welcome there. It's not even just performing. They don't want me at the gathering. Like they don't want me there.
Yeah.
And like, that's cool. I'm not mad at them. You know,
Right.
it makes me a little sad. I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't make me sad because I love the gathering every year is something I look forward to every year.
Yeah. Juggalos fuck with you, and I know you fuck with Juggalos.
And the last time I went to the gathering, some hierarchy people basically came up to me and they made it very well known that I wasn't welcome there anymore.
Damn.
And so, you know,
So, I mean, how you gonna out mob the mob boss, man? That's fucking unbelievable.
But you know what? People like you are making stuff like, you know, like the camp. I mean, we have listeners that are you know, they're like, fuck the gathering. The camp is where it's at. You know,
Cam Zool's where it's
so
at. Yeah.
you know, you keep putting effort
Unfortunately.
into that. It's, you know, it's just another avenue for people to go and be like, you know, the gathering doesn't really have to be all there is for the main stage of this kind of music.
Hey, man.
no, true. I mean, that is true. But like,
It's still a colossal festival for
when
the
I
underground.
got blacklisted from psychopathic events, like I never lost any like real fans. Like the people that turned their back on me, they were more like the fair weather people.
Yeah.
Like my actual real fans, I didn't lose one out of it. You know, there was a couple people that I know that unfollowed me on social media. You know, but like they weren't people that I considered like real fans. It was just kind of like Buck's in psychopathic's good graces, so we'll fuck with Buck. But it's like the second psychopathic said we ain't fucking with Buck, they're like, okay, I don't fuck with Buck no more.
Yeah.
And
But
like
those kind of
I
fans,
don't need those kind of fans anyway.
yeah, that doesn't really affect you. That's just you were two songs on their playlist that they're not playing now.
Right.
You know,
Right,
so yeah,
right.
yeah.
So-
You want the real fans who are really passionate about your projects.
They only
who
care-
want to buy your collector's editions and things. Those are the people that
We all gotta
you're
give-
really serving when you put in all this work.
We're all giving props to Joe and Joey for bringing us to this culture from the 90s. And it's expanded so far beyond that we don't have to rely on their word
We have each other.
for everything.
Right. Well, they
And-
started a scene, but look, the thing is,
Yeah.
if you think that those guys are infallible, that they're like gods or something, and they do no wrong, you got to open your eyes, man. We are all human beings here. We're all grown men.
Yep.
There is a full spectrum story that people don't get to see. But the whole thing is, they're not infallible. You know, they do make mistakes.
I've never heard Joey. I've never heard one negative comment. I don't even mean about me. I mean the whole thing. Joey ain't got nothing to do with it.
No. I feel
Shaggy is a cool motherfucker, man.
We'll
and
say
like,
on
it
the
ain't got
show.
it ain't got nothing to do with it. In my opinion, I could be wrong here.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion.
Church.
But I'm a very smart person and I pick up on shit. And in my opinion, if Joe came to Joey tomorrow and said, "Hey man, I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm just letting you know that we're gonna do a tour and I'm gonna ask Twisted to be on it," he'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I think it would go.
I
don't
think we all agree with that.
Yeah.
We
No,
all
we agree.
we're all pretty cool
I
with that.
understand he
Yeah.
has to be loyal to his homie, but
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. I understand why there's a divide between the two of them. I get it, but like it ain't got nothing to do
It's
with
personal
me. I was
shit.
cool with
Yeah.
all of them before any of
Yeah.
this happened,
Yeah.
and
It's just
you
silly
know,
that you're not able to be cool with everybody now.
Yeah.
But that's, to each their own.
Nah,
I'm
man.
glad that we could at least put on the record that you have no hard feelings. It is out of your control. It was like you did
I
not
have
choose
I
to
have
not
no
go
hard
to the gathering.
feelings at all, man.
Yeah, man.
You
Like,
know,
yeah.
like I said, I was more sad than angry, like the way, after coming out and doing the march and, because like, I don't need my ego stroked, but like, and you know what? Maybe there was an interview or somewhere like where Joe patted me on the back for coming to the march. That I don't know, but like, as much as I've heard him say, I invited everybody and nobody
No one came.
came to the gathering, I guess I'm everybody. My name's everybody because
Buckshot
I've
came.
never seen Joe say, you know what? Buckshot came to the gathering though.
Yeah.
Now
You know, I've just seen him,
He came to the march.
complain that nobody went to, I'm sorry, the gathering, the march.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody
The march.
came to the march, but I told Joe when I said I was coming to the march that it had nothing to do with record label shit. It had nothing to do with any politics. I wanted him to know that I was coming strictly like on the premise whether Joe had a reason why he was doing the march, and I don't want to get into the politics of what I thought about it.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the politics behind it. I just wanted the Juggalos to know that I supported them.
That's
Right.
Whether
Church.
whether
That's
it
all
was
that
the
matters.
reason was valid or not, why they were marching, I don't care about any of that. It doesn't matter if they should have been doing it or they shouldn't have been doing it. I
Right.
just wanted Juggalos to know that I supported them regardless. Like I wanted them to know I supported them.
Because
Yeah, sure.
regardless of why ICP was there, that's to be said. But you know why the Juggalos were there, and
But you don't-
you're there for them.
But that's something
Right. It didn't matter the reason. I just wanted them to know I support you all. Like I'm really I fuck with you all.
Yeah,
you know?
man, and that's what we got to take from this right now is like when we talk about the march in the future, well, that's something we got to say. Like Buck was there.
Yep.
Yeah, Buck.
You know
made
what I
it.
mean? Make sure everybody fucking knows that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Jay talks about Tech and Twisted not showing up shit, but look
We
who
hear
was there.
Yeah,
Look
we
who
hear
was
we hear
there.
a lot about the people who don't show up, but pay attention to the people who
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
man.
so that
that
And
speaks,
like-
that should speak
Yeah.
for itself.
And honestly, I do understand. Like, I think there are some artists who probably would have liked to be there, but it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me freeing up my schedule. I mean, I want to
They
say
weren't paying for that.
that whole trip, hotel, Uber, planes, taking everything. I mean, for me, I want to say it was probably like a $1,500 trip.
Yeah.
And that's, not every artist can just do that. Just stop what they're doing. Just, it would be nice if they did, but, I can't be mad at any other artist who didn't go to the march for whatever reason. But I think if it was convenient, like I think if the march was in certain artist cities, they would have came out of convenience, but it just wasn't convenient for them to be able to go to Washington D.C. and do it.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I
that's
think I think they should do a 10-year anniversary of the march and do it again. I mean, honestly, I mean,
March on Washington
seriously,
again?
yeah. No, I think they should march again.
because I mean, I think I don't think they ever did shit with the gang. I think they acted like they're gonna take it away from
No,
me. But
I
then
think they
still
should march again in the same name. Like Juggalos are not a fucking gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
And march for the culture, not just ICP.
I think that
Juggalos
was-
march for the culture.
I think
of
there
the
was
music.
two hands in that. It was a very important march, and I appreciate that, and that's dope seeing the Juggalos get together. But I think there was also another hand in that where it was about publicity.
Well, of course,
that's all I'm saying.
You have to have the publicity.
That's all I'm
of course.
saying.
Well, that's what marches are for.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying not just publicity for the Juggalo issue, but also publicity
I got
for
you.
Well, we
ICP
all gotta,
and the name.
Buck was there. For the people who want to talk about who wasn't there, Buck was there. So just everybody remember that.
Yep.
And we're just
church.
But he should have a shirt that says "Buck Marched."
Yeah, right, exactly. Exactly. Fuck
Yeah, but
March.
if we did that, I would be doing it for clout.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. The good old
There's
clout
already
game.
people that's going to see this and like, oh yeah, Buck just wants some clout.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
no,
I don't
we're
want
doing that,
clout.
man.
I've seen several people, be like, fuck Buckshot, and people like, bro, Buck marched, so fuck Buckshot. Like,
Yeah, that's
some
weird.
people just don't, they don't care that I marched for them. That they
Yeah.
care, their politics matter more.
Yeah, it's
we're-
goofy.
We care, man.
Well, where that is, that to me, that comes to legacy. You know what I mean? Whatever people are saying now, that doesn't really matter when it comes down to the years later, the legacy of what you're leaving behind.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he
So-
focuses on that, but it's still going to suck when somebody, when you're working really hard on something and you release it, you're like, man, this is going to be dope. People are going to fucking love this, man. This is one of my best shits ever. And then somebody's like, man, fuck you and fuck this fucking album. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, what the fuck did I do? You know what I mean? Like,
I expect it though. You know, like I expect that, and I don't care. But what sucks is when like an artist won't work with you because they're scared that another artist won't fuck with them because they're fucking with you.
yeah.
That happens a lot more than you think.
That
No,
sucks.
yeah,
Like
I've
there's
heard of
artists
that.
who tell me they fuck with me and they love what I'm doing and they take pictures with me, but like they won't do a song with me because they're scared that if so and so over here saw they did a song with me, like they won't be in their good graces anymore.
I
It's
do.
like-
I do know of a few acts, and I ain't gonna say no names, but I do know of a few acts that really, really, really strive to be in those good graces of Psychopathic and C17 to the point where they're not.
doing
They
themselves
wouldn't.
a disservice.
Yes,
The more-
absolutely. To where
the
they
more-
would do themselves a disservice by not working with people who are very popular in the scene.
What's artistry,
just
man?
to
You know?
avoid that possible blacklisting.
It's the artistry that the more you put fear and let fear be involved in what you're doing in the art, it takes away from that. So
I mean,
the
I don't
less
give
you are
a
as
fuck.
an artist.
I don't care what artist, what label they're affiliated with. If I'm friends with you, if I want to work with you, I don't, like the whole, like the light on Thanos, like he was on Psychopathic. I didn't care. He was my homie. I honestly didn't think it would be that big of a deal.
No.
And I was shocked when he said that Joe said, you have a green light. If you want to get on that song, you can do it. I was shocked, but I was like, that's awesome. Like that's really stand up of Joe. Like I know Joe don't fuck with M&E, but like, but he knows like, Light has a chance. Like Tech Nine was on the song. It was going to Ritz. I mean, it was a big Jelly Roll. It was a big song. And he's like not going to hold his artists back, even though I kind of thought that was a turning point. I was I was shocked that he said he had permission to do it, but then it all made sense when he hit me back that night and was like, bro, Bill, shut that shit down. I was like, oh, I saw what happened. It was like the whole good cop, bad cop thing.
Yeah, right, exactly. So that way, yeah, he could keep that,
That's a shame.
In
Man.
situations
that
like
clear
that,
view on light.
you'll push power on each other.
Well, I mean, you gotta
it's Jay saying this, now it's Bill saying this. It's
Light's
Jay,
like, this
yeah.
is some fucking bullshit, Jay. And Jay's like, it's Bill. It's Bill. He's the president. What can I,
But what sucks about that is that would have had, I mean, let's keep it real, would have put more ears on Light. I mean, being on a track with fucking Tech Nine and
I know
Ritz
Light
and
always
shit.
wanted to be on
And
a track with
it's
Tech.
kind of sad because there was a time where like Ouija and Light were like looking to be there. I mean, they were doing seminars together and
Yeah.
it was getting noticed. And people are like, man, these
Dude, I
two
mean,
are working.
let's not even
well
get started,
together
like,
and shit.
Talent wise, that's not even a question. But man, it's a shame. Like they could have done so much more with Light, and it's like it kind of fell through the cracks.
A lot of that happened, but once again, we're kind of going back to the boogeyman. But
Anyway,
anyway,
we keep going to Boogeyman, but like, no, as far as the future is, like, I think Buck, you got a legacy that you've been, kind of filling in the blanks with as the years have been rolling on, and it's hard to match. I can't really see anybody in this underground that's really been doing what you have done. The platform you've created,
I think a lot of people can learn
the
from
balance,
The
that
content,
you've put in
the
it.
catalog, it just
Well, I appreciate y'all that, I appreciate that you all take notice of it. I will tell you that there's my passion for this and my, I'm excited about everything, but my whole, what I've got planned, there's more surprises coming. There's stuff that people aren't, when it gets announced, they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh!" Like I didn't even realize this was happening.
Hell
Like
yeah.
there's some really cool and big stuff, that's going on behind the scenes that I'm slowly working on everything. But like when it all comes to fruition, I think I'm going to blow some people's minds. I don't even. There's such cool stuff in the works with
Yeah.
people and groups and like people aren't mentally ready for it.
oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Is there, I mean,
Yeah,
can you
there's
give us
some really cool
anything?
stuff in development right now that, like,
development.
Now, Keezy, don't even put him on the spot
Come on,
now.
can you give us
Stop
something?
it! Stop it!
I want something, man. Come on, exclusive. Tech One Down
Development.
exclusive.
Don't you dare!
I'm trying to think.
he
if I
already
could-
he already gave us one with the Stevie Stone.
Oh yeah, that's
That
true.
was a big
we did
one.
get that.
Yeah, I appreciate the man because that's the whole thing. I
Yeah.
also know
Wait,
you're.
He's about to say something.
I was gonna. All
No,
I'm gonna say.
I was
yeah.
trying to think if I could say something.
All I was
but,
gonna say is like you're a big long-term guy, so I know you're thinking of the long game. You don't think of just this project. You're going, okay, I'm gonna do this grand thing. So in order to do that, I have to do this, this,
Yeah.
and this. You're thinking of the long game.
He's like the good booker in wrestling. That's like, let's make this like a fucking year-long storyline.
Yeah, well,
Let's
yeah,
make
you
this-
got to think long.
well, like I told you, I play chess. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, like if the average person got a Tech 9 feature, it would be on YouTube within 3 hours
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
them getting it. I sat on that Tech 9 feature that I used on Weirdo. I had that feature from Tech before I went to prison. I went to prison in 2010,
Yeah.
which means I got that feature in 09
Okay.
and it came out in 17. I
Right.
sat on a Tech 9 feature for 8 years.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was probably like, when the fuck did I record that shit?
When it finally dropped, he's like, "Who the fuck is this AI?"
Right. But no, I sat on that feature for 8 years before I dropped it, and it was still like just as dope as the first day we got it.
Yeah, it's Tech 9.
It
Tech's
didn't
timeless.
sound dated,
Right.
but like I said, I played chess. Like, I'm sitting on some features right now that
Are gonna blow
I've had
some
for a
minds.
little bit that, but like you can't, you can't, that's why I didn't want to release the feature list for UGA yet, because you want to build anticipation. If you just announce everything on day one, it kind of makes it kind of like dip. Like I just want to keep climbing and build up hype.
Yeah.
We'll probably start leaking features, here soon. Like, the album, it's getting ready to go send to press tonight. It'll go into press tomorrow. And I mean, it only takes 6 to 8 days, to get the CDs. You know, that's all we're waiting on was the album to get finished.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, a couple features held up the album.
What's the official date on the album?
There's not. I just said on the pre-orders it will be shipping by the end of June, which it will ship earlier than that. But I didn't want to announce that because if I said it's going to ship on June 10th, June 11th at
Everybody's
12
like, "Where's my
a.m., people's going to be like, where's my tracking number?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep, 100%.
You're getting PayPal claims and people giving you, harassing you and threatening you. Where's my tracking number? You said it was going to ship yesterday. So
doxing
I'm like,
you.
you know what? It's going to ship by the end of June. But real talk, it's going to ship much sooner, but I ain't going to tell you that.
Yeah, I was just crossing my fingers that it would be released by Camp Zool because that would be the shit to buy it at Camp Zool.
Yeah. If everything goes as it's supposed to, it'll be at Camp Zool.
Yeah, that would be the shit to buy at Camp Zool.
Word,
Fuck
Camp
yeah.
Zool. Let's hope for that.
That's what I'm saying, man. Everybody get your Camp Zool tickets. Half the price of a gathering ticket. It's going to be the same dope ass crowd.
Damn, yeah, you'd have to say all that, man.
Well, no, it's just facts. Look, am I wrong? Compare them.
Go to both, okay?
You can go to both, but go to Camp Zool.
Hey, go to
guys.
the gathering to see Chris's battle. I mean,
yeah.
That's
Right.
going to be there.
We
so.
can battle at Camp Zool.
Chris
Though.
is gonna be at the
Mick Nasty will be at Camp Zool. We could do it up.
Chris,
Anyway.
Chris, if you didn't know, Buckshot, Chris here won the Gathering rap battle last year. So we got a celebrity in our mix.
No, yeah. That's
rap
my
celebrity.
that's my.
He's
going
to defend his title this year. So.
year. Mick Nasty's going to join.
Never mind.
What was that?
Something just happened. It just went over all of y'all's heads. I was curious if any of y'all caught something. But
Oh, I
y'all
missed
didn't.
it.
Oh, we missed it.
I missed it.
we
I'm
missed
an
it.
idiot.
You got to go back and watch it.
Oh yeah. I will.
All right. Well, look, Buckshot, we've had you almost 3 hours. I don't want to hold you up anymore. I think we've squeezed everything I wanted to squeeze out of you.
Right.
Does anybody else have anything else before we go? I mean, this is your last chance.
Hey, I told y'all I was down for the duration, man.
Hell
You
yeah,
were,
yeah.
man. We-
No,
No,
absolutely.
this
We
has been
appreciate
great,
that.
man.
shit,
Yeah, I'll
dude.
say that, man. But yeah, appreciate that for sticking
Well-
around as long as you did, and talking to us about what you have.
Been
and
a great conversation.
Props to everything, man. The fucking march. Props to what you've been doing for the underground.
I do have
and,
one
everything, yeah.
one more question.
Yeah,
What's-
shoot.
What's the worst show you've ever done? Worst live experience
aside from D1D.
aside from
What
doing
are you talking about? Performance show?
like
or
performance? Yeah, like
Oh.
I think that almost every artist has a disaster story. I have I think every artist has a disaster story where they've had one show that just did not go great. I know that's a weird one, and you probably don't like talking about it, but do you have any that stand out as like really shitty?
Well, it took me a while to think about this, but one that I've never really had like bad disasters, but like I remember just one performance that sticks out in my head after thinking about it. It's not like on the top of my list, but the last gathering, no, not the last gathering I did, the gathering in Oklahoma City.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was a daytime. They had me doing a stage in the daytime, and it was like nobody knew the campground,
Yeah.
and like where the stage was, it was a dope stage, but it was like 6 o'clock. It like if it was at like Thornville or like Cave and Rock,
Yeah.
it would have been packed. But nobody knew where the stage was because it was a brand new place.
Mhm.
And the way you get to it, it was through the woods, and like it was just dead. I mean, there was probably only like 100 people there for like the first 10 minutes, and then people finally heard the music and followed the music and found it.
Damn.
And I even remember like the next year when Rob booked me for the next gathering, he was like, dude, I felt so bad about how that went down, because he was like, dude, you're a pretty big name in the underground. He was like, I expected a huge crowd for you, as did I. I mean, I've always drawn really good at any gathering performance I've done, but just people just didn't know how to get to that stage. It was just really weird.
Hell yeah.
But and it was like fucking blasted hot. I remember Crucifix came to that gathering with me. He came out to like hype the set. And I just remember him like, fuck, dude, it's fucking hot. It was like,
Yeah.
it was nasty that in Oklahoma City. It was just
That
nasty.
gathering has a lot of
Yeah.
negative stories
Yeah,
attached to it, I
nobody
think.
talks highly of that one.
Yeah. Oh, Gage Von
Right.
Wild pointed out maybe what the thing that went over our heads. I'll just leave it in the chat instead of saying it, but maybe that's the thing that we.
Hold on. Before you say anything, though, no matter what it is, I'm not going to react to it because I don't want you all to have a clue. So
yeah.
whether it's something that's right or wrong, I'm just going to be straight faced.
Yeah,
so go
okay,
ahead.
gotcha. Well, Gage Von Wild was saying it was that McNasty is on the new album.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
right. All right. But anyway, that's all. That's all I got. I was,
Man, thank
I
you,
was just
man.
wondering that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that now. We're winding up. We're winding up, man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man. Everything you've done for this, the music, the underground, marching and shit. You've done a lot of shit, man.
And
For
remember,
sure. No, I appreciate you having me on. And Keezy's been trying to get me to come on the show forever.
Yeah.
And it was always just bad timing. I always wanted to do it. So I know in my head, I'm like, man, Keezy probably thinks I'm just fucking jacking him along. Like, I wanted to do the show from the beginning. It was just always weird or bad timing. But
Hey, I always knew you'd come through. Buck.
Hey, to stick up for Keezy, man, he never doubted it. He was like, yeah, he's just busy, man. He'll be on. Like he
No,
never
if I ever
doubted it.
tell anybody I'm going to do something, like
Yeah.
I'm a very adamant in being a person of my word.
hell yeah.
If I tell you I'm going to do something, I don't backpedal.
Absolutely. Buck hit me back. He's like, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to come on. I'm
Yeah,
not as busy now.
I hit Keezy out of the blue. I said, I bet you thought I forgot about you, didn't I? I said, let's do it. I'm
was
ready.
That's the shit,
Good,
man.
man. This has been great, man. I really appreciate you coming on. We're all going to check out the new fucking Underground Avengers.
Yeah, hopefully
Hell
at
yeah.
Camp Zool.
And we're gonna
Yeah,
go
hopefully
back
buy
and
that shit.
we're gonna go back through this interview and check out some of the songs that were
Oh, yeah,
mentioned and
absolutely.
shit. Yeah, we need to definitely check out and
Dope,
deep dive
dope.
some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
So are all three of you all going to Zool?
Me and Chris are pretty much locked in.
Yeah, we're
It's,
like,
I don't know about Carver.
it's up in the air for me, but I want to. It's
Yeah.
up in the air.
Well,
though.
if you all see me out there first, like come over and holler at me.
Hell yeah, we will.
Absolutely, brother.
man.
We absolutely will.
Yeah, I'm performing Friday night.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna come out and hang out on Saturday too.
Oh, dope.
Okay, good
Yeah,
shit.
we'll be there.
I think me and Lon Squad are gonna do a autograph signing at our merch booth on Saturday. So
That would be the shit.
it's so close to home. It's only like an hour and 45 minutes from me. So we'll probably come and hang back out on Saturday.
Yeah, about the same
That's
for us.
great,
Yeah.
man. That's
Oh, yeah.
hell yeah. That's dope as fuck.
Zool are my dudes. Like I love them guys. Like they're my homies.
Yeah,
they
they're
seem
real
cool
ones,
shit.
man.
We bonded really close on the Fright Fest tour in 2018.
Yeah, this will be my first time meeting them, but like all their fans and people who are like real close to Zool always talk about like how genuine and like cool they are. They say
they're
that
awesome guys.
And they
I
can
love
rap their
them to
asses
death.
off.
yeah, they're really dope musicians, but and just putting together a festival, you know what I mean? Like running that festival, like that's fucking dope as fuck, you know?
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
My hats off to them.
Yeah.
I'm even like before Super Famous, we're fucking with Long Live Evil. Like Eight Legs is my dude. Like I've been
Yeah.
fucking with him for a long time. And I've got love for SON and Whip, everybody on their label. The LLE are great guys, man. They're
for sure.
awesome artists, but they're even better people. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing everybody out
Hell
there.
yeah. We fuck with
Oh,
them heavy.
yeah.
Man, so.
Yeah, we love LL.
Sounds like a dope ass, just family brotherly love.
A lot of people
reunion.
I have heard
Yeah.
that review about Camp Zool where they'll say that Camp Zool has the feeling that the Gathering did in 2003. Like those eras.
I never
2002,
went to a
2005.
gathering that I've heard the same thing though, but yeah, man, just like the
Or
feeling at Camp Zool is just it's dope. Everybody's there for the same reason. There's not weird like label politics where like I can't talk to this person because I'm afraid if that person sees me talking to him, then they won't talk to me. There's none of that shit.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah.
Love it.
There's no weird politics there at all.
Yeah, it's just an underground scene. Everybody who loves it, kicking it. You know what I mean? And
I mean, you
enjoys
could
some
wear
hardcore.
any shirt, if you wear a psychopathic shirt or a M&E shirt or a a mob style shirt or a LSP or LL, you know, it doesn't
Taylor
matter.
Swift.
Nobody's gonna look at you funny for what you're wearing out there, and I can't say that that's the same for some of the other label events in our world because, you know, there's so much I want to say.
there's stories.
Buck, for what it's worth, I mean, I know we've held you up for a long time, but for what it's worth, this would be the show to unload any of that shit. By the way, man, we say what the fuck we want, and it don't matter.
We sometimes get like we're very open about not liking the C-17 movement.
We don't want to put you on that spot, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I'll tell you this, you know, it's something that me and Boondocks joke about. And this has nothing to do with against M&E. So no, I don't want anybody to be like, oh, yeah, they're talking. It's got, dude, I got nothing but mad fucking love for M&E, man. They have looked out for me so many times. I've got ultimate. I know some people don't like them for whatever the reasons, but I'm saying they have done nothing but good for me. And I've got nothing bad to say about them. You know, like I got a lot of love for George is my fucking guy. Like all the artists over there, like I fuck with everybody over there. They're like family to me, and I'm sorry that some people don't fuck with them. But what I'm getting at, I've told, me and Boondocks have this ongoing joke, and I've told him the day that I decide to quit doing music, like when I'm not going to depend on like Bukshot, like when I start fucking talking about some of the shit that I really want to talk about, I'm gonna be a fucking menace.
Well, you know,
some of you fucking rappers out there, look me in my fucking eye. I'm gonna be some of your all's worst fucking nightmare.
You know what?
Yes.
I was thinking that earlier in this interview. I was like, Buck needs to write a fucking book. Because I guarantee you there's going to be some shit in there that it's just going to be riveting.
The Buckshot.
Very easy to tell who I fuck with and who I don't fuck with. Yeah. But there's some people out there, they're on my fucking list.
Yeah.
And I'm telling y'all, man, there's some people who's done fucked up, and I ain't going to oust you now. But you fucked up, and you know you fucked up, and it's all smiles right now. But when I'm done being Buckshot, I'm gonna be a fucking terror.
I can't wait for that, man.
You're gonna hear me start really like talking about some shit, and you can't run from it. You can't hide. And some of y'all motherfuckers, you might be able to out-rap me, but you fucking can't out-scrap me. And I'm that fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the music shit. Anybody that knows anything about me knows my background and what I come from and who I am.
Yeah.
And like, y'all don't want this beef.
Whenever you
don't want
it. Whenever you do that
fucking guy.
Like
you can laugh in your circles and point fingers, but I promise you don't want this fucking boy from Kentucky. I promise you
absolutely. Whenever you do that, just let us know so that we can promote it, please.
One day I'm going to let it all out because, man, I'm telling you, I got dirt on most of you motherfuckers that I just keep the shit just tucked in. But
can't wait.
But like, y'all can't fool Uncle Buck, man. Like I know everything about you motherfuckers.
Shit.
That's why everybody knows. That's why everybody knows better than to take a fucking actual shot at you, Buck.
Well, hey, look. A lot of people dream of taking down the Godfather, but nobody takes that shot.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
People know
you got to have respect not to hit the capo of the regime.
Peace. I want peace between everybody.
Like
I said,
the real ones want
peace.
peace.
I'm just really gonna like tell y'all how I feel about certain people and certain subjects, and I ain't wrong about none of it. But I just do my best to keep the peace with everybody and everything, but some of these motherfuckers make it fucking hard to keep my fucking mouth shut, and I try to be a better person. You know, I try to live a good life, and I try to be positive, but sometimes shit just can't be positive, and just I'm fighting. I got an inner war that I fight with myself inside, and I'm just like, I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm doing the right thing, but one day I'm gonna fucking do the wrong thing.
Man.
Well, look, man.
Dude, for all the actual, like, I mean, that's real man shit. I mean, I'm telling you, the real men in this game, in this world, they want peace. They do.
Yeah, I know.
But it does.
I want peace.
Yeah,
Even if I
no.
don't like you, I don't want fucking beef
Exactly.
with
No,
you.
they want peace, but when it comes down to it, the shit that they got
Sucking
on
Uncle
everybody,
Buck's
bro,
meat.
it's a whole new fucking game. But look, man, thank you for sure, bro, because I think everybody in the game knows that about you. They get that. They're like, yeah,
Well,
that's Buck.
y'all know I'm real, and you know I got a big fucking heart, man. I got love for a lot of people, and I would help out anybody that I can within reason. But you can't help the whole world, you know. Like I do what I can do, but I have love for fucking juggalos. All you juggalos out there, like I've got love for you. Like I think juggalos and the culture is fucking awesome. It sucks that there's people out there that go out of their way to ruin that, but you know it's just like real life. It's just like it's like a barrel full of apples. You know, most of the apples in it are good, but there's always a couple apples in that barrel that's gonna, it's gonna ruin some of the other apples around it, and that's just like that is the human plight in general. Like it's part of it. You're never gonna get away from it, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you motherfuckers causing problems and causing dissension and strife, and
You're gonna get buck slapped.
I see it.
One day.
I see you.
Caesar.
You're not slick.
Caesar.
I see it.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing, and Uncle Buck sees all.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
you're
we
gonna
see-
get buck slapped.
Nah,
You
we
fucks.
see it too, man.
All right, all right. Let's end on that, Buck. We appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks for
That
hanging
was
out with
fun,
us
man.
for 3 fucking hours, man. That was epic.
Hey,
you're the
when
shit.
you all need me again, y'all know my number.
Well,
For
holler,
sure,
man.
brother.
We
Fuck
appreciate
yeah,
you.
bro.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Buck.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Fuck
Peace.
short.
All right.
My soundboard is fucked.
Oh, sorry. There goes Buckshot.
Boing. Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was
Yeah.
Buckshot.
Yeah, he's the shit, man. I'm fucking glad that he joined us. Was a dope ass interview.
Yeah, man. I was going to give him some horns and everything.
Sorry, I
but
don't know why
can't
it
do
shut down, man.
Yeah.
No, but that was dope, man. Thank you, Buck. I mean, that shit was dope. I mean, he's definitely got it on. You know, I was thinking that. I was thinking that early on in the interview. I was like, he needs to write a book. I want to read his book.
Dude, that last part where he's threatening and looking right in the camera, I was legitimately frightened.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh shit.
What are you doing?
Oh
Sorry.
shit.
All right, you're just now starting the show.
I'm starting
Sorry,
it
just
up.
don't- just
and
don't-
I'm ending it.
Not. What are you doing? All right. See y'all next time.
Let's put
That's
this one
fine.
back in
No.
the deck.
Bye. See ya.
All right, y'all. Are we ending it?
Oh, yeah.
It's like playing the intro and the outro. Hey, what are you doing, Carver? Carver, this went so well, and now it's just falling apart.
You